Week 5 of the college football season is here. Picture perfect conditions for a non-conference clash on Warriors. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Join alongside the former NFLer Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. So another early season important non-conference tilt for Stony Brook. 3-point losers last week at Lindenwood. Brandon, they welcome in a 2-2 Merrimack team. Late game winners last week and one of the best defenses in the country.
Yeah, and because of that defense, they feel like they can be in and win every football game that they're in. You talk about those two losses. Those were two FBS teams that they lost to, but they played them pretty tough. You watch the tape. They're about 2 to 3 big plays away from being undefeated. A win here shows that this program's going in the right direction. And if you're Stony Brook, the run to the playoffs starts right now. It's must-win football, and we're only in September, Johnny.
Seawolves at 1-3 now. Plenty of bright spots to pull from last week's 30-27 loss. Probably none brighter than Jace Freeman, who had 9 catches for $180 and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, we get to highlight a big receiver today? Let's do it. 6'4", 225. He's big in size, and he can create the big play. You see the strength and the speed to get yak, but he's also a 50-50 ball specialist. He's going to have to be special today for the Seawolves to walk away with their second win of the season. Big play right there. I love it.
Oh, I forgot how much wide receivers love talking about wide receivers. Here's a quarterback, Aiden Pereira, dual threat for Merrimack. He has a touchdown in every game this season, either through the air or on the ground.
All right, you call him a quarterback. I call him an athlete playing quarterback or a wildcat running back that can throw the football. Leads his team in both passing and rushing. He's like their Cam Newton, but he also has the green light to throw the football down the field. You see it here. He can make a guy miss, get into the end zone. The entire Warriors offense gets carried on Pereira's back.
Seawolves meeting the Warriors for the first time since 1998. Stony Brook looks to remain perfect right here on FloCollege.
Stony Brook Kids Zone is located inside of Gate 6. Fans can enjoy catching the Seawolves spirit at the Kids Zone. Will feature glitter tattoos, balloon art.
Get you set for a Week 5 tilt here on Long Island's North Shore. Stony Brook Seawolves taking on Merrimack College. As each team's 4 captains deciding who will receive, who will kick. Before we get there, we'll go down turf side to Johnny Godamowitz for more on Stony Brook, looking to get off to a quick start this afternoon.
Johnny, Brandon, great to be with you guys. From a Stony Brook standpoint, we've heard Billy Kosh talk about it all season. Got to play a full 60 minutes. Feels like that really includes the start of the ball game. We're talking about a Seawolves crew that over the course of the last 2 first halves have only put up a combined 16 points. That includes just 3 last week on the road down in Lindenwood. Their comeback attempt falling just short. You're looking at a different first half and maybe a completely different ball game for the Seawolves on the road last week. Now, the flip side of that is this is a Merrimack squad that's top 10 in the nation in time of possession. So really important for Stony Brook to make the most of the opportunities that they do get offensively. Another facet for the Warriors as well. You go back to last week, their win over Central Connecticut State. They didn't allow a point until the 4th quarter. So you know Billy Kosh's offense is going to have their work cut out for them.
Johnny B's cooking early. I love what he said about how they're top 10 in the nation when it comes to time of possession. We talk complimentary football throughout the week. Not only are they top 10 when it comes to time of possession, but they're a top 20 defense as well. If you can hold the football away from an explosive offense like Stony Brook, but also limit them when it comes to defense, getting off the field, not giving up big plays. Merrimack is on the island today thinking they can walk up out of here with a W. This one is going to be an interesting game, Johnny. I think our most interesting game to call in the start of this early season.
Well, as Johnny noted, kind of an interesting juxtaposition here. Stony Brook trying to get off to a quick start. Merrimack last week, the defense on the opening drive forced a fumble. It was overturned. Next play, interception, ruled no because of a penalty. Ended up forcing the punt. So not be easy sledding this afternoon. Stony Brook and Merrimack underway for the first time since 1998, 27 years in the making. And we'll see the quarterback, Chris Ellis. He has started every game this year for Stony Brook, and he has gotten better with each and every game.
Yeah, he looks like he's finally comfortable. I know we're in the 4th game of the season. There is no preseason when it comes to college football. So for him coming in, learning Billy Kosh and Anthony Davis's offense, it looked like it took him a little bit of time to get settled. Now you can see that he's using Jace Freeman on the perimeter to make big plays. 24 for 41 for 317 and 2 touchdowns against Lindenwood. He's going to want to get off to another fast start for this Seawolves offense.
Seawolves going through the air. First play, deep ball, far sideline, cannot be reeled in, but there is a penalty flag. So just a week after his 10-reception afternoon, Marquise Dietz may have Stony Brook into opponent territory. We'll wait on the ruling.
That's going to be on the captain, starting safety, Nate Pelenica Jr. There's a lot of hand fighting when it comes to those deep balls. You can see it here, hand fighting on both sides, but once you get in there and that right arm starts to grab and tug and pull, ref has to call that.
How about a direct snap to Roland Dempster? Cut out that middleman, Brandon London. Just get the ball into Roland's hands. He's been over 100 yards, total yards, in 3 out of the 4 games this season. Last year's CAA rushing leader, still kind of looking to get his footing. Stony Brook's bell cow.
Yeah, that's why I go to Costco and BJ's, cut out that middleman. Great way to get him the football early. I know we talk about how great he was last year, but he is primed for a $150+ type game.
Second down, long 3. It's a keeper. Chris Ellis has the first down to the near sideline. And 3 plays deep. Stony Brook is into opponent territory. Seawolves has noted at 1-3, kind of getting late early here in the second hour for Billy Kosh. And just some tough scheduling for Stony Brook. As we get another look at Chris Ellis, who has used the legs very well in his first year with SPU.
And I mentioned that 41 attempts against Lindenwood. You don't want that from him. You want to keep that down in the 20 and around 20 attempt range. And that's why his legs are deadly, because they can be an extension of the quick passing game.
Roland Dempster cuts it back at the 40. It's a 14-yard pickup for number 4. The Staten Island sprinter has Stony Brook down to the 33.
Yeah, Merrimack's defense, again, I said it earlier, top 20 in FCS, but I don't think they've seen a running back like Roland just yet. And they've played 2 FBS teams. They're going to have their work cut out for them, trying to bring down 4.
Heads on swivels for the Stony Brook Seawolves, picking up the offensive coaching staff on the near sideline. 3rd home game of the season already for Stony Brook, all within this month of September. They will not return to LaValle Stadium until October 25th. Zealous running out of time, loose ball. It is on the deck and recovered by Stony Brook. Officials looking at one another. And for now, it is a fumble recovered by Stony Brook, and now they have changed it to an incomplete pass.
Yeah, when your offensive coordinator, Anthony Davis II, you want to take shots down the field. But the offensive line is going to have to hold up. This is a stingy and a pesky Merrimack defense that can kind of create big plays on their own. You're going to say it. You're going to say it. I'm waiting for you to say it. This is sponsored by who? They're going under the booth for the review. Sponsored by who?
Stony Brook Ophthalmology.
There he goes.
Just 2 minutes and 8 seconds into the game. I don't think that is a season record. We had one earlier this year already. So, it'll either be a fumble, we believe still recovered by Stony Brook, or an incomplete pass. The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. I'm a broadcaster, have to say it. Need that conclusive video evidence to change the call.
Yeah, it looks like that lefty, and I couldn't see his number. Looked like he got a little bit of that elbow, so I'm not a betting man, nor do I practice, telepathy. So I'm thinking it's some sort of fumble, but like you said, it doesn't matter. It was recovered by Stony Brook. But you talked about run the football with Zealous, hit the outside, get the ball to Roland Dempster, get that defense to kind of move up. You want to take shots down the field, but you have to be protected.
Well, what we do know, first drive of this contest, Stony Brook already into opponent territory. They've already picked up a couple of first downs. These two teams have not met since the 1997-98 seasons. Both were victories for Stony Brook. And now with the sort of FCS independent status for the Merrimack Warriors in their second season under Mike Giannetti, who has been on staff, by the way, for 21 years. So he is Merrimack football.
He didn't hit the portal?
He didn't hit the portal yet.
He waited for his opportunity, and now, okay.
Unless his portal is being the linebackers coach in 2005 and then working your way all the way up to the head coach in 2024. Here's the tail of the tape. As noted, Stony Brook, the winners in each of the two games. They were former members for just a few seasons of one of Brandon's favorite all-time conferences, the Eastern Football Conference.
Wow. So it was a fumble. All right, there was a fumble. And I mean, again, we talk about this Merrimack defense. They are pesky, ladies and gentlemen. They may be a little bit undersized, especially on the defensive line, but they create pressure by bringing 5, 6 guys. This Stony Brook offensive line is going to have to hold up. Otherwise, depending on the momentum, a fumble like that can go in favor of the Warriors.
Second down and 11 for Stony Brook. Keeping it on the ground, up the middle, handoff. Roland Dempster only picks up 2. So back to the original line of scrimmage for SBU. Sets up a third down and less than ideal for Anthony Davis, the second's offense. Anthony Davis, who last year made it 5 schools in 5 years. Rejoining the head coach, Billy Kosh, here at Stony Brook, where, of course, they took a 0-win team, turned it into an 8-win team. Seawolves have to get to the 21. Pressure coming. Ellis gets rid of it. Deep ball in double coverage. And Nolan Sluka nearly had it with one hand. Or rather, Marquise Dietz. So decision time here for Billy Kosh. And here comes Michael Menino, whose lone NCAA field goal make was a Stony Brook record 49 yards.
Yeah, great job by Dietz on the effort on the football. A lot of times when you can catch it with 1, you can try and get that left hand in there and catch it with 2. But Zealous, when they watch that tape, watch this play because they may go back to it because you had Jace Freeman on the crosser route wide open.
Michael Menino has the Stony Brook record of 49-yarder. It's his only collegiate make. This is also from 49. And he drills it. The only 2 field goals for Michael Menino.
Yeah, I mean, anytime it's at 49, just throw him in there. You know, pretty decent drive by Stony Brook on that. It was a little bit, I mean, the luck was on their side in terms of being able to recover that fumble. 7 plays, 44 yards. They got a chance to get 3 points out of that. But when you look at the throw to Dietz, I know Zealous is going to want that easier throwback to Jace Freeman. Maybe he was able to get that first down on that one. But at the end of the day, we see Stony Brook, they're able to put points up on the board early. Sometimes you just want to turn that 3 into 7, especially when you're going to play a pesky Warriors team that likes to stay in it. Something to keep an eye on, Johnny.
Well, good vibes already here on Long Island's North Shore. The vibes have always been good since Billy Kosh arrived last year, the CAA Coach of the Year in his first season at Stony Brook. And doing it at just 33 years young.
Wow. It's funny because on one of the calls we had with him, I believe earlier in the year, I said yes, sir, to him just as a sign of respect. I'm like, bro, I'll be 41 next week. He should be saying yes, sir, to me, even though I don't like it, even though I got a couple grays in my beard. Coach Kosh doesn't have any grays in his beard right now, even though they got the 1-3 start. But if they can get this win today, then maybe they can get a spark going and go on some sort of run.
Fair catch inside the end zone. So Merrimack College will see their offense for the first time today on Long Island. Spearheaded by the dual threat quarterback Aiden Pereira. They'll start from the 25-yard line. Obviously, Brandon, we talked about him in our broadcast open. Dangerous with the legs, certainly capable with the arms. He has 4 touchdowns in 4 games this year, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground.
Yeah, and if I'm a wide receiver, you know, obviously you don't want to play in an offense like this because you got a quarterback that's a run-first type guy, but he has a big arm, man. I think we need to keep an eye on the big play and him throwing the football down the field. They were able to hit on a couple in Kent State, CCSU, and that comeback win. Keep an eye on the explosive plays down the field.
Brendan Wyatt met immediately by the teeth of the Stony Brook D-line. The roulette wheel lands on Wyatt to start the game. 9 different Warriors who had a carry last week. None, though, better than Aiden Pereira, the quarterback, who, as we noted, their leading passer and their leading rusher through 4 weeks.
Yeah, I like both the running backs that they have. They both can do a little bit of it all. But again, this offense goes through Aiden Pereira. But again, I'm going to keep saying it, Johnny. They're going to run the ball, to draw them in, and they're going to throw the football down the field.
Wyatt again cannot bounce it out to the outside. Like Sebastian Regis, first to make contact. Well, a tale of 2 halves last week against Lindenwood. Stony Brook, probably one of their worst 30 minutes of the season to start the game. But you could argue, maybe not a tough argument, their best 2 quarters of the season to follow. So they're trying to carry that momentum back home with a lot of miles, too, coming from Missouri, getting back at 5 a.m.
Yeah, this is where you don't want Pereira in the 3rd and long situation. But if you're Stony Brook, watch, you got to keep contained so he doesn't beat you on the outside of the perimeter with his legs.
Pocket collapses. Pereira stays on his feet for the moment, keeps the play alive to the near sideline. Pereira to the 30, leaping for the first down. He did not get there. What an effort by Aiden Pereira. We're still waiting on the spot here, and a Stony Brook player down. And Aiden Pereira is going to need a new uniform.
Wow. Could put that up for auction one day, but you talk about Stony Brook and the mileage that they had to cover coming from Missouri back to the island. Think about the mileage that Aiden Pereira just covered on that scramble alone. Again, I told you, when you get there, you have to wrap up and get him down. This is a bold move by your quarterback, looking like throwback Johnny Manziel with that 2 right there. Unfortunately, he didn't get that first down, but that puts Stony Brook's defensive line on notice. You have to contain this kid on passing downs.
That's a lot of yards to go to pick up 7 on the play. End over end punt, just by the 27-yard line, and Stony Brook will have their 2nd possession. Kick started from the 31.
I think I expect to see a lot of Roland Dempster on this drive, kind of set the tone. We talk about how Merrimack's offense is top 10 when it comes to time of possession. But Billy Kosh and Anthony Davis II's offense, they can move the football as well. So you get Roland going early, you take a little bit of pressure off of Chris Zealous. But let's see how they come out and attack this Warriors defense.
10:23 to go, first quarter. Stony Brook's 2nd drive when we return on FloCollege. Well, we get our 2nd look at the Stony Brook offense, already leading 3-0 here in the first quarter. Joined alongside Brandon London, I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Katamowicz roaming the sidelines. Chris Zealous and company. On the first down and 10, they'll start the drive from the 31. And Stony Brook vying for its second victory of the season. Already a Week 5 matchup, important non-conference tilt yet again for Billy Kosh's group. Motion man is the running back Dempster. It is rolling. Third tote is going nowhere. And impressive stuff by the Warriors front four. Put down Roland Dempster. Not easy to put number 4 down before at least gaining 1 yard.
Yeah, keep an eye on that motion. Anthony Davis II was trying to see what that Merrimack defense was going to be in. They were in some sort of man-to-man. I believe there's going to be some sort of play action in the later in this game off that same motion.
Zealous hits Dempster. He avoids. Rolling down to the 39. The extra effort makes it a 3rd down and 2 for Stony Brook.
Again, I don't think they've seen a running back this strong, with this much speed that can make guys miss in the open field and bounce off of tackles like that. We talk about BYOE, bring your own energy. You're going to have to bring them pads as well.
BYORD. Dempster across the 50. Stony Brook would be foolish not to bring her own Roland Dempster wherever this team goes. Last year's CAA rushing leader. And the Seawolves, yeah, they're across midfield for the 2nd time in as many drives. Good start here. Off the play fake. Deeds did secure it. It's about a 9-yard pickup for Marquise Deeds. He fumbled it for maybe 5 yards, but he secured it just in time.
And that's what that heavy dose of Roland Dempster does. It opens up the RPO. You see everyone kind of crash down, and that allows Deeds to kind of get open in the flats. You're going to want to catch that clean because you want to take full advantage of all the space and real estate you had there. But great job to put them in the 2nd and short.
Seawolves looking to go through the air. Zealous avoids the pressure. There is a flag behind the play in the area of holding. For now, Stony Brook gets it across the line to gain. But all indications are it is coming back. Hold on one of the offensive linemen. Head referee today, Eric Lewis, gives Stony Brook the bad news, their first penalty.
And look at you, Deion Warwick. You called that before he called it. I absolutely like it. And for those of you at home who don't know who Deion Warwick is, chat GPT her. But that's an unfortunate penalty right there because you would have gotten the 1st down off of that 2nd and short. Now you're backed up behind the chains at a 2nd and 11. You put Zealous in a position to where he may have to throw that football after getting a heavy dose of Roland Dempster all drive.
Now from the 49-yard line, Zealous stepping up in the pocket, will take off again, looking for a block. And Stony Brook gets it about to where it was prior. So another 3rd down and manageable forthcoming as we approach the halfway marker here in the 1st quarter.
And I love that run. I love that scramble. Option 1 wasn't there. Option 2 wasn't there. Take it and run. Put yourself in a 3rd and manageable position because we are in 2-down territory depending on how many yards they get here.
Right up the middle. Good play call by Stony Brook. First handoff of the day for Ike Ika Ragsdale. And it nets another Seawolves 1st down, now 2 for 4 on 3rd down.
Really trust your run game when you can run the football on 3rd and mid, 3rd to 4 to 6. And you also know that that run game is going to get you positive enough yardage to put you in a 2-down territory if you have to go for it on 4th down. That's a luxury that the Seawolves offense has, having 2 backs that can get it done.
That was already the 6th 1st down of the 1st quarter for Stony Brook. The floater taken in by Deets. He'll stretch it out across for a 9-yard pickup. So the guy who had 10 receptions last week feels like he's touching the ball every 3rd play. And Chris Zealous, 5 weeks into his Stony Brook tenure, is really starting to find his favorites.
And we've seen that play before. I believe it was against Rhode Island or Fordham where it was a drop ball on it because we wanted him to run out of that break.
Zealous again, well protected. Off target in search of Des Williams. Our midweek coach call with Billy Kosh. So Des Williams, maybe the numbers, not exactly what you would think for Des. He's had a couple of big plays called back. So keep an eye on number 12 this afternoon. We know to the 10 reception game last week for Marquise Dietz. It's the most by any Seawolf since Des Williams had 11 in the finale last year against Monmouth. And it sets up a 3rd down and 1 from the 26-yard line for Stony Brook. Roland Dempster, a good candidate. He is met at the line and sent backward. The Warriors hang tough with just 1 yard of margin. And it appears Stony Brook's going to go for it here on 4th down. Stony Brook a perfect 3 for 3 in these situations last week at Lindenwood. Plenty of time here for SBU. Play clock only at 12 seconds. Roland Dempster lined up behind Zealous. And it is Dempster leaning. It is awfully close, but it looks like the Warriors stopped him, and they did. It is a turnover on downs. The Merrimack Warriors on 2 consecutive plays stuff the CAA's rushing leader.
Yeah, we talk about Stony Brook's offensive line and how you want to get pushed there. Again, I'm going to say this word again. This defensive line is undersized, but they are pesky. These guys are going to slant. They're going to give you everything they have to try and stop this Stony Brook run game because you understand that that is their bread and butter. But what did you hear after that stop, Johnny? A lot of Merrimack fans getting turned up, getting crunk, as the kids used to call it back in the day. I expect them to take a shot right here because you are now primed to go down the football after creating some sort of momentum after a turnover on possessions.
Apologies, was not ready for the Brandon Pop quiz. Still the first quarter. Give me a break here. 5:45 to play. That is Aiden Pereira. New number is 13 because on the first drive of the game, he ran 30 yards to pick up 7 yards. And his jersey split in half.
Imagine if you're number 13 and they came to you and was like, hey, give up your jersey. We're giving it to the quarterback. Like, but wait.
Well, on the roster, one of the backup quarterbacks wearing number 13 typically is Michael O'Connor. So maybe if, God forbid, they got to bring O'Connor in, it's going to require Pereira to take off the jersey and put it on O'Connor.
You're a team guy, Mikey O. You're a team guy. Better than me.
Pereira stepping up again. He will utilize those good legs. Takes a big hit by Chase Chalmers, but not before he picks up the first down a little bit more. So the Warriors out to the 42-yard line. Another look at the Pereira scramble.
Again, we talk about containment. It's not just him hurting you. See a gap, a lane, and take advantage of it. That's a big play on the ground for this Warriors offense.
This time Pereira moving to his left. More running by Pereira, great play. He got rid of it just in the nick of time to try and avoid the sack from Anthony Forelli. And let's see where they mark this ball. Forelli fresh off a 14 tackle performance. It ties his career high, which he set against Marshall in the Week 1 game last year. And it does appear as if, well, now the flag comes out.
Do you get the sack for that? Do you get the sack on the grounding call, or they take that away? Because, I mean, that was a heck of a play by Forelli. I mean, you see the way he got east-west on that enclosed, but forced the quarterback, Pereira, to make a decision.
What was that? You played college football, NFL football, CFL football. Do you get the sack on that?
Madden football.
I forgot you're a wide receiver. Here's Mike Giannetti, second year as the head coach. But he has been on staff for 21 seasons, hired as the linebackers coach in 2005, and one of the 5th head coach in program history. He worked with the previous 3. Plenty of time for Pereira. All day to launch one. Nobody open downfield. Finally, incomplete. Good coverage by Stony Brook. And a flag right around the line of scrimmage. Well, this has been a big bugaboo this season. 40 penalties through the first 40 weeks for Merrimack. That's their 41st. Averaging about 90 penalty yards per game. That puts him in the bottom 3 in the country. Like Giannetti said, finally for the first time this year, we kind of rectified that problem last week. Only 5 penalties, a season low. But first 3 weeks of the season, it was at least 11 penalties in the first 3 games. Giannetti said just tough to win football games when you're doing that to yourself. And on cue, it's another hanky.
And, that's got to be frustrating for a coaching staff because this is an area of emphasis. You can even bring the refs into practice. You could yell at guys, make them run, but it's on the players to have that discipline. And we talk about how much it's hurt them in the past couple of games. Well, it's hurt them now to where that they've had a couple big runs early in this drive, but now you get called back into a 3rd and forever. And this is like 3rd in New Jersey right here, and what they got to get the first down.
Stony Brook sends 3. Little flip pass out across the 40. And the Seawolves tackle provided by Chase Chalmers. So good pickup by Merrimack. Still puts about 7 yards short of the line to gain.
Chase Chalmers on the tackle.
So the catch and run by Keyshawn Brown. Here comes the punting unit. Second time we'll see the junior Mike Ryan.
And if you're the Warriors offense, you're upset because, again, Pereira had the big run on that first down to get a first down. But since then, you saw the intentional grounding, illegal man downfield, and the false start. What is the offensive coordinator supposed to call on 3rd and West Nyack?
Mike Giannetti said, winning football teams 6 penalties or fewer per game. They have already committed 3 here in the first quarter. Marquise D secures it just by the 10-yard line. We'll see the Stony Brook offense for a 3rd time coming up. 3:20 to go, first quarter. Just getting started. Stony Brook and Merrimack here in Laval Stadium.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
Picture perfect Saturday afternoon here on Long Island's North Shore, Laval Stadium, the site. Stony Brook and Merrimack, week 5 of the FCS season. He's Brandon London. Down Turfside, Johnny Gatamworth. I'm Johnny Wincott. 3:20 to go here in the first quarter. Stony Brook fresh off a tough 30-27 loss last week at Lindenwood. A tale of 2 halves. Stony Brook, certainly the better team in the second half, came up just short.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because when you get a slow start like that and then you pick it up the way that they did in the second half, it's kind of hard to really understand what your identity is as a football team. But one thing I like, they were 3 for 3 on 4th down and 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions. That's something that they're going to need throughout the course of not only this game, but throughout the course of this season if they're going to make a run to the playoffs.
Stony Brook, of course, on their second drive today, turned it over on down, so 0 for 1 on 4th. Great throw, great catch, Chase Freeman. Sellis utilizes the mobility, throwing on the run to his favorite target. He's thrown 5 touchdowns this year, 4 of them to number 5.
Yeah, that we highlighted him earlier. You saw his big frame. He's got what we like to call catch radius. A lot of receivers are scared to kind of extend their arms like that out across the middle. Not Jace Freeman. He wants to rock.
Zealous was looking for Freeman. Turns it into a 9-yard rushing pickup. So again, Stony Brook, as they did in the first 2 drives, moving the football methodically. Roland Dempster, rare occurrence, stuffed from 1 yard out on consecutive plays, led to the turnover on downs. Great chance for Stony Brook to get back on the board here. 2:45 to go in the first quarter. Zealous uncorking, and nobody there but a hold. He was looking for Nolan Sluka down the far sideline. I believe the grab came from the main transfer, Jabari Eccles.
And you're going to want to kick yourself in the leg if you're Eccles on that one, because you had him locked up. Now it's about just let him go, turn and run. He is not running underneath that throw. So when we talk about the discipline and the lack thereof of this Merrimack team with all these penalties, it's little moments like that to where you got to be more, just more football awareness to let him go, and then you go make a play on the football.
A little give and take here in the first quarter. So that was the 4th penalty already on Merrimack. Now the 2nd penalty on Stony Brook. We talked about team discipline with both of the head coaches. 2 very good midweek conversations. Billy Koch, Stony Brook, Mike Giannetti from Merrimack. And is it a coach conversation unless you talk a little bit of team discipline?
Looks like we're on our way to seeing more flags than the United Nations, who's the reason for all this traffic in New York. But got to see some disciplined football from both teams.
Only green ahead for Chris Zealous. He will take advantage. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. It's going to set up a very much more manageable situation here for Stony Brook after the 5-yard false start penalty. So this is right around the area where Stony Brook turned it over on downs their 2nd drive. Benici, the tight end, goes in motion. He was looking that way. Now chased out of the pocket. Zealous on the run. Has the first down. It's the veteran, R.J. Lamar. Just his 2nd catch of the season in his 43rd career Stony Brook game.
Great job by Chris Zealous by getting out of the pocket here. But here's what I love. As soon as he broke containment, he didn't look to run. He got his eyes down the football field, gave one of his wide receivers a chance to make a play. Great job, R.J. Lamar, to catch it, cut it upfield, and get a little bit of extra yak sauce on that burger.
Good block by Ragsdale, sets up the fade. Too much on it. Des Williams in double coverage. So Roland Dempster out of the game. Ragsdale came in, provided a little protection for his quarterback. And 1:58 remaining. Stony Brook just outside the red zone by maybe an inch.
They're running the ball effectively. Short passing game. We've seen it a little bit, but they're going to want to hit on some of these shots that they're calling. Those are the ones that put a game away.
Zealous, design keeper. Right up the seam. Chris Zealous, the first down and more. He rumbles ahead to the 5-yard line. So all 3 drives for Stony Brook have looked good. But they only have 3 points at the moment. Another point of emphasis for Billy Koch. We get in the red zone, cannot settle for field goals. Inside handoff, Ragsdale. 2 more yards for Stony Brook. About 50 rushing yards already in this first quarter for Chris Zealous in a battle of the dual threat quarterbacks.
And if you're Anthony Davis II, with your play calling, you want to be creative but not cute.
Creative, not cute. Touchdown. It is Des Williams on a 3-yard catch and score. Stony Brook takes a 9-0 lead.
Yeah, great play call. I mean, play call off the run action. Whether it's Ragland back there or it's Roland Dempster, you're going to have to crash down. You're going to have to try and stop the run like they did on that turnover on downs. But here's where you get creative. and not cute. You link one of your wide receivers into the flats. Linebacker's not coming off the line trying to D him up. Touchdown, Stony Brook.
Brandon, we have another flag.
I told you.
Not sure this is going to change anything for Stony Brook. Going to keep the kicking unit out there. By the way, first touchdown of the season for Des Williams. First time he has found the end zone since his 2-touchdown performance in the finale against Monmouth last year. So Michael Menino hit the 49-yard field goal to get Stony Brook on the board. This is Enda Kirby, who has hit 11 consecutive field goals, 36 consecutive point-afters. And his 37th makes it a 10-0 score for Stony Brook.
We talk about Chris Zellis getting comfortable with the 5th game of the season now. We see him using his legs. We see him buying time, looking down the field, allowing his receivers to get into their spots. And now you see him with a great run action to Ragland and hit Williams in the flats. Chris Zellis is starting to take command of this offense, especially after a career high in that loss to Lindenwood. He's going to have to play his best football for the rest of the season for this team to make the playoffs. But if there's a guy that can lead him there to the promised land, it's Chris Z.
I'll pose the question to you again. We've had it a few times this season. Did you start Big Z in your CAA Fantasy League this week?
I did not. I started Dempster and I started Jace Friedman because we knew we were going to be talking about him at the Open. But the more you see Zellis take steps within his comfortability of this offense, I think the one thing he is lacking right now, in order for me to say that he's taken full control, is just being a little bit more accurate on some of those intermediate routes that they ask him to throw. But right now, he's doing a great job using his feet and getting everybody involved.
Cooper Lehman takes it from the edges of the end zone. And he is lassoed down to the 20-yard line. Joseph Garcia had the tackle, more affectionately known by JoJo around these parts. Final 63 seconds of the first quarter. We told you an exciting game last time for Merrimack. They dominated through 3.5 quarters. Mike Ginetti's words, he said, then we lost it, then we got it back. A field goal as time expired by Carlton Ty, a 19-yarder, gave him a 16-14 win. All 14 points by Central Connecticut were scored in the fourth quarter. So again, Pereira sporting the number 13. He ripped his number 2 jersey on the 3rd play of the game. Throws off the wrong foot downfield and out of bounds. Searching for his leading receiver this year in Jalen McDonald.
And you talked about how they were able to get back into the football game against CCSU, throwing the football down the field. We talk about the time of possession, how Aiden Pereira is able to run the football. They've got 2 running backs in Wyatt and McElroy who are serviceable backs. But we talk about the explosive plays in this offense. They throw the football down the field and they throw it deep. If they can hit on a couple of those, they get some momentum into their favor in this football game.
Wyatt on the carry.
Brendan Wyatt, 5-yard pickup. Couple of Seawolves slow to get up at the 25-yard line. So another 3rd down coming up here for Merrimack. First downs have been hard to come by for the Warriors. And now Wyatt coming out of the game on 3rd down. This is the third down for Merrimack. They're 0 for 2. Seawolves stack the box, only send 3, throw to the outs, beautiful coverage. It's the Richmond transfer, Bryce Parker. And it brings up another 4th down. Punting unit returns, this will be the...
Too early. You see a lot of times, since they're on that left side, so they're on that right side, Johnny, you'll see a DB kind of go and reach and grab with his left hand to secure and then try and come down with his right hand to make a play on the football. That gets called. Great job of timing that thing up and getting that hand in there. Next time he may try and pick that, go home for 6.
Reeled in at the 35 by Marquise Dietz. So Stony Brook will start their 4th drive of the game in this first quarter. Probably only get 1 play. All right, again, we started this broadcast down turf side, but Johnny Gadamowitz telling us, hey, Billy Koch wants a faster start. Tough first half last week at Lindenwood. You could ask for a little bit better of a first quarter. They did turn the ball over on downs in opponent territory, but a 10-0 lead, going to be their ball at the end of the first.
Yeah, and if you can make it a 17-0 lead, that means that second half of the Lindenwood game kind of carried over into this game. Just be disciplined and do not turn the football over to give Merrimack any sort of signs of life.
Well, it appears Chris Zealous has carried it over from the second half of the Lindenwood game. That final play of the first quarter gives him 55 rushing yards, 66 passing yards, and that passing touchdown to Des Williams. 15 minutes in the books here at Laval Stadium. Stony Brook 10, Merrimack nothing. We'll have the second quarter when we return right here on FloCollege. We get you set for the start of quarter number 2. Stony Brook 10, Merrimack none. It is a Hall of Fame weekend here on the North Shore. For more on that, we'll go turf side to Johnny Gadamowitz.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, sort of a cool moment on campus. Michael Bamiro back here on the North Shore. Class of 2013, one of 4 inductees into the Stony Brook Athletics Hall of Fame yesterday. Standout offensive lineman, started 33 straight games during the course of his Seawolves career. Was a crucial piece to back-to-back FCS playoff appearances in 2011 and 2012. Also was an AP All-American that year. Had a stint with the Giants in the NFL. Also played CFL, AFL. Some well-deserved recognition.
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, we had Mike here yesterday. Delivered a great speech as he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. My shoulder, though, Brandon, still sore from the longest stretch of a microphone up to the 6'9" player. Chris Zealous going down. The 9th sack of the season for the Warriors, their first today. And it is a big one, well behind the line to gain.
All that time, I'm thinking I'm the tallest person you were going to have to interview at 6'5". Now you got a 6'9" lineman right there. But hey, that's a big stop by this Warriors defense. We talk about the great job by Jason Campo coming off that edge. And it's one thing to get there, Johnny, but to get a guy like Zealous down. We talk about Zealous and Pereira, how they can hurt you with your feet. These are 2 quarterbacks that can make guys miss tackles and then really hurt you on the perimeter when they break that containment. So great job getting that tackle and hopefully getting that football back for your Warrior offense. Great coverage.
Bryce Goulet could not get out of the harm. It's down to the 27-yard line. Chris Zealous onto the phone. what I do wrong, what I got to do different next time. They probably could have used Mike Bamiro on that third down play. 33 consecutive starts for Stony Brook on really some of the best Stony Brook Seawolves teams in program history.
Yeah, I remember when I was at UMass, we played them back in 2006. I think we beat them like 55-3. You know, not bragging or anything, but I'm just saying how the program has just gotten so much better. Not only on the field product, but just the people around it, the community. A lot of people are rallying around this program, and I think that they're the future of the CAA, or one of the futures.
First catch for Jalen McDonald goes for just a yard. Team's leading receiver hauls in his 15th reception. Yeah, I could say on the flip side, maybe the reverse for the other school in that game, Brandon.
Oh, man.
Second down and 9.
You just took a shot at UMass, bro. Like, I felt that inside. They played Missouri today as well. Not Lindenwood, like Missouri, so that could be. Anywho, back to the football game that we're calling. Pereira's going to have to do some stuff with his arm.
Just 15 yards through the air in this game. And trying to utilize the legs, 2 more yards. And Merrimack in a familiar position, third down and not ideal.
Yeah, and you want your arm to help your legs. You know, you want Stony Brook to kind of back off a little bit instead of keeping so many guys at the box and then the line of scrimmage to where, yeah, you can make one guy miss, but then there goes 2, 3, 4 more defenders. So get in some sort of rhythm, be comfortable throwing the football, and just move the chains for this offense and see what happens after that.
Warriors did not convert a first down, rather a third down in the first quarter. Pereira, lots of green, picks up his blockers and gets a first down to the 45-yard line. So again, it takes a circuitous route for Aiden Pereira, but he gets forward enough to get the chain gang moving. And the drive will continue here for the Warriors in search of their first points here on the road.
And it's a great job to use your feet to get the first down, but too much improv can hurt when it comes to, all right, I'm the offensive coordinator, I called this play, I want you to look at this read to this read, and then maybe take off. You may have some guys open if you hold on to that second, third read, but hey, at the end of the day, yes, get that first down, but you want to get some sort of passes to get him in some sort of rhythm.
Pereira again. That's an 8-yard pickup before he's met by Anthony Forelli. Another active game for number 42, by the way. Seawolves really establishing one of the better linebacking cores in the Coastal. And rather quietly, this has been a good defense, much like it was last year. Some tough competition to start the season. Stony Brook has allowed 30 or more points in 6 out of their last 8 games going back to last season.
Which I can't fathom. Like with the linebackers of A.J. Roberts, Forelli, and Chase Chalmers, that leadership there, and just the way that they're able to get north-south, I don't understand why the Seawolves defense struggles at times.
Brendan Wyatt gets north-south. Another first down. The Warriors slowly crossing their way into Stony Brook territory. Just 4 minutes into the second quarter. Merrimack also looking for their first road victory of the season. 2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. Again, both of their losses against FBS opponents, but as Mike Giannetti told us, they had a chance to either win or certainly make it interesting in all 4 of those games. Had the lead with less than 6 minutes remaining against Kent State. Had a 7-0 deficit at halftime against Kennesaw State. Pitch play to the far sideline. That's going to be at least a 6-yard pickup. There are no flags on the field this time around.
Yeah, that is a great play call and play design to have the little option off of the orbit motion. And look, you know, I guess it's the wide receiver in me, Johnny, that wants this kid to throw the intermediate routes, like the curls, the digs, that sort of thing. But if that's his bread and butter, being able to use his feet to stay ahead of the chains, then do it. But there's going to be some times where he's going to have to make some big boy throws.
That was a 7-yard pickup to Schweitzer, and on target. That was a tight window for Jalen McDonald. Pereira showing some of his best stuff, at least through the air on this drive. It's another first down. Warriors inching closer to the red zone for the first time.
Yeah, really great route on the stop route. Great throw to throw it to the outside so the defender who had inside leverage couldn't jump it. Again, that's the throw I'm talking about. That's similar to a curl, but just nice, easy throws towards the outside to keep this defense honest.
Feeling pressure, floated up there. A lot of hands, a lot of grabbing, a lot of flags. In fact, I think every official that has a hanky in their pocket threw a flag. Nice job by Pereira, feeling the pressure, floating it up to a dangerous area. And we'll wait on the ruling. So guilty party is the third-year Seawolf Cam Johnson, who has provided a big boost as one of the defensive backs, the transfer from Virginia Tech. A little too much clawing and grabbing.
And you see a lot of those on the underthrown footballs. We're taught as wide receivers to dive our bodies or throw our bodies.
Oh boy, that is a big boo-boo. We talk about the yellow flags being a red flag this year for Merrimack. So because of their penalty, it cancels out Stony Brook's penalty. Let's do it all over again. First down and 10 for the 29. Hit the reset. Schweitzer, the motion man, to the bottom of your screen. He's looking that way. Pereira for his man to the end zone. A lot of contact again. This is all clean. And Stony Brook lives to get to second down and 10 finally.
Yeah, I like the no call there.
Mario Crawford in coverage.
Yeah, great defense there. Not only did he get his head back, but he was able to be athletic enough to slow himself down to where he didn't throw his body into the receiver. They both were going to go down regardless. I think it was thrown up to number 11, Hayden Fisher, who had a big catch against, I believe it was Kennesaw State. But great job of Crawford of not getting that defensive pass interference, because that would have gave free yardage right there.
Pitch play, Wyatt has blockers across the 25, stretches into the red zone. Another first down for the Merrimack Warriors. With fewer than 9 minutes remaining in the first half, they're into the red zone for the first time at Laval Stadium.
Great job by Apafong with that tackle. Number 22, the junior out of Canada. Wyatt had some room. He had a lane there to kind of put his foot into the ground and get into the end zone. But so keep an eye on that tackle, because I believe that was a touchdown saving tackle. Now let's see if Merrimack can, one, get this first down or even get into the end zone.
Warriors 0 for 3 on third down in the first quarter, 1 for 1 on this drive. And it appears they will get it.
Number 24.
That was first carry of the day for Kalamama Molpa. We told you 9 different Warriors had a tote in their 16-14 win last week against Central Connecticut. Molpa was one of them. He had 7 for 33. That's 33 out of his 40 yards this season. You made sure you got that, Brandon? Kalamama Molpa.
Yeah, I was going to say that 5 times. Put that in teleprompter phonetically for me.
Molba remains in, protecting the quarterback. Pereira looking toward the end zone, and with his back toward the play, coverage made by A.K. Camara.
Yeah, great defense by Camara on that one. Way to get his head and his eyes back. Pereira's going to want that throwback, because that was a nice little slant and go, or sluggo as we call it, by wide receiver number 4, Jalen McDonald. He had a step or two, so if you're Pereira, you want to put that up and over like the Russell Wilson moon ball in the back of the end zone so McDonald can run up under it. But great job by Camara by getting his head around, getting a hand on the ball, not drawing any DPI to give them any free yardage.
Second down and 10 for the 20. Molba gathered up after a 1-yard pickup. So Kalamama Molba That was his 11th tote of the season. Comes by way of Lackawanna College. Just another opportunity for us to say Kalamama Molpa.
Lackawanna, Galawana Molpa. I love it. I love it. Love some of these names that these guys have. But yeah, when you talk about how many running backs or how many ball carriers that this Merrimack offense has, they've got willing and able backs, serviceable backs. Big third down here though.
DeMarcus McElroy, now the running back, throws over the seam, touchdown. It's on target for Keyshawn Brown. Merrimack on the board here on Long Island.
Big throw and strike by Pereira. You know, I kind of jumped on him a little bit by two of the other throws that he kind of missed two receivers, but easy ball up the seam. And you get that because you've been able to run the football, get a single high look. But way to put this team on his back. 13 plays, 72-yard drive, 6:43 off the clock. Now, get one on the board to go down 3.
Not many kickers busier than Carlton Ty in the first 4 weeks of the season. He makes it a 10-7 game. It's a 19-yard touchdown grab by Keyshawn Brown. That'll send us to break with 6:54 remaining in the first half. Plays, 72 yards. It took 7 minutes off the clock. The Merrimack Warriors have their first touchdown here in the Week 5 matchup. Here's how these two teams stack up. The 1-3 Stony Brook Seawolves, the 2-2 Merrimack Warriors. Very difficult schedules to start the season. The Warriors have already played 2 different FBS opponents. Stony Brook has had to travel to San Diego State, to Lindenwood. First home game was against number 8 Rhode Island. Tough to get settled through the first month of the season, and that was kind of the rhetoric from both head coaches in the midweek meeting.
Yeah, but if you're Stony Brook, 0 excuses, you know, because you walked into this year ranked number 4th in the preseason polls. You had the turnaround that you had last year. You've got the excitement. Look at all the little young kids or future Stony Brook transfers that are going to come here one day. A lot of people rallied behind what Coach Kosh and his coaching staff was able to do in this first year. You're a little bit behind the 8 ball right now, but tough times don't last, tough teams do. So you could use this game to kind of spark some sort of run to get you into the postseason. But at the end of the day, it's about playing disciplined football. It's about playing good defense and striking on offense when you get an opportunity.
Brandon, how's your cornhole game?
Oh, my, impeccable. But you know who's even better? Brendan London Jr. My kid is a beast. At 2.5 years old, he is a beast at cornhole. Now, he doesn't like underhand it. He just picks it up, runs it over there, and then just dunks it. But hey, I mean, you can bend the rules a little bit. The kid's 2 here, Johnny.
I'm surprised.
Don't make that face.
As a former NFL wide receiver, I thought maybe you want to kind of like catch the cornhole instead of throwing it.
I want him to play quarterback, man. They get all the big bucks in the portal.
Seawolves with fewer than 7 minutes to go 75 yards for a second touchdown. This would help the cause. Jump ball for Chase Freeman. He brought it in. Or did he? It's ruled incomplete. At the 40-yard line, referee was right on top of it. And Freeman a little slow after going up high and coming down hard.
Let's take a look at this one. We got a nice little box fade out of the slot. I like how he gives them an opportunity to go up for that. But here's what I'm going to say to the young wide receivers. Go up for that ball without, ooh, I think he got that foot down. I really think he got that foot down. But to make it easier on himself, Johnny, you want to go up for that football instead of leaning back like that song from Fat Joe.
All right, so we're officially going under the hood. Brandon's favorite sponsored element of the broadcast, presented by Stony Brook Ophthalmology. And it would certainly aid my call if this is overruled for a catch.
Love it. Again, taking a shot down the field. We talk about at 6'4", 225, he can go up and make those down at the last second, I feel like, before it touches the white. You can see him here with the slot fade, holding his ground, holding the real estate. That foot gets down. We got another angle here. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Great ball to get it up and outside. Here we go. You see that right foot get down right there. That's a catch, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the run game of the Stony Brook offense. Now you put 8, 6, 7, 8 in the box. They're able to throw the football down the field because they do have some big play wide receivers on the outside. And it starts with number 5, 6'4", 225-pounder, Chase Freeman.
Certainly looks like that foot grazes enough of the turf. He had control of the football. Away our producer is Becca Garner. Crew touching all the right buttons, providing you all the sights and sounds here for the Week 5 FCS matchup. So it's our second review in as many quarters. And let's hear from Eric Lewis. All right, it's a catch. I can put the call on my reel now. It was a catch.
Absolutely. And just the way you say ophthalmology, it just, the way it just rolls off the tongue, man. Like, I remember that last year when I struggled with it like 3 times. My family texted me and were like, yeah, don't try that again. Let him say it.
I think the sad irony is my eyesight is putrid. So now just the second play of the drive. He locates Freeman again. Slips the tackle. Chase still going out to the 30-yard line and finally dragged out of bounds in the 25. So it's the Chase Freeman show here in the 5th drive of the game for Stony Brook.
Highlighted him earlier. He can go up for the football and the 50-50 balls, but you see him be nimble enough to make a guy miss, and then you see the strength. Chase be nimble, Chase be quick.
Design keeper. Zeller's tracked down from behind. Good tackle by Kendall Sims. Another player trying to pick up where he left off last week. He had 3 tackles, half a sack, 2 fumble recoveries, and starts the day as the team's leading tackler. He had 24 to start the day. Brandon, he has 31 right now. I won't ask you how many that means he has, but carrier 1.
Roll the 3.
Play fake. Dempster picks up. And the throw incomplete. Good block by Roland Dempster. All for naught for Stony Brook. It'll set up a 3rd down and 5 for the 20-yard line.
I think that's not talked about enough when it comes to Roland Dempster's game. We talk about how he can run the football in between the tackles. He can catch the football, but his pass blocking as well. I remember my rookie year, Tom Coughlin said, you're not, in terms of running backs, you're not getting on the field unless you can protect Eli.
Zealous being chased down. And he runs into Campo and friends. Reinforcements there for the sack. It's a 4th down. Stony Brook's field goal unit comes out. The only question, which kicker? Menino, the long-distance guy, hit a 49-yarder in the 1st quarter. And for a mid-range effort, it is Enda Kirby, who has hit 11 consecutive field goals and set Stony Brook's single-season record last year with 17 of them. 40-yard attempt for the Irish Hammer. Early movement. I guess that they did not cross the neutral zone. Kirby's kick is up. Does it have the distance? It certainly does. Stony Brook 13, Merrimack 7 on the 12th consecutive field goal make by Enda Kirby.
Imagine that's your title. Like you're out with the fellas, you're at a bar, some young lady's like, hey, what do you do? I'm the mid-range kicker for the Stony Brook Seawolves. What do you mean mid-range? You know, anything 45, 49 plus goes to the other guy.
I tell you what, kickoffs now also go to Michael Menino. So theoretically, right, Enda Kirby should have a more well-rested right foot for his kicks. And boy, he has been nearly automatic in his Stony Brook career. He's now 24 of 27. And now you kind of add in the wrinkle of Menino, who, oh, by the way, he's 2 for 3 now in his collegiate career, the freshman Menino, both from 49. Those are both Stony Brook records.
Huge.
Having said that, still 4:55 on the clock. If Merrimack storms down the field and scores, they have the lead. Brandon's carrying those ones again.
Yeah, because like Stony Brook has dominated this game, I feel like. And I feel like they should be up at least 2 possessions. And I'm talking 2 touchdowns on that. So great job by Merrimack. Again, they're a team that will stay in it.
That is a fake flip by Lehman, trying to find the edge. I don't think he was. He is chopped out at the 12-yard line. And the Stony Brook special teams coverage remains mint. A.K. Kamara the stop.
I'm looking at that play like for what? You should have just stayed into the end zone, because if you're not catching that running forward on those reverses, then the timing is off. You know what I'm saying, Johnny? Like that's something that when you're practicing that, I guarantee you a coach was saying, like, if you're not catching this on the run, then or it's in the end zone, stay in the end zone. Now, instead of getting the ball normally at, the 25, you got it at the 12, and this isn't the type of offense that's built to just go 80-plus down the field.
Merrimack's going to use a timeout here. I figure that could be costly in this final 4:47. So now they'll have 2 timeouts. They'll have the 2-minute timeout. And this all coming before the first play of the drive, which will start from the 12. So 13-7 game. We encourage you to stick with us at halftime. We'll have the Dean Challenge. We'll get our SBU Media Group report. And then Brandon and I will come back with some first half stats and highlights. Not sure exactly how those highlights will end from the first half. Going to be dictated over these final 4:45. A lot of youngsters in attendance today. Beautiful Saturday afternoon on Long Island.
Yes, it is.
Down goes Pereira. He did give off the pigskin. It made no difference. Chase Chalmers and friends there for Stony Brook. And that's all after the first timeout before the first play of the drive. The down Seawolf is Jaden Jackson, who shares that number 4 with the offensive running back Roland Dempster. So this will require essentially another timeout. Now 4:31 remaining. And again, only 1 play has been run here.
You think when a little kid goes up to Jaden Jackson and is like, yeah, what number are you? I'm number 4. Can I get your autograph, Mom? I got Roland Dempster. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Jaden Jackson. You think he's ever got one of those before? I'm glad he's okay. Come up off the field, get some treatment there, get back into the game, because this needs all hands on deck for the Seawolves defense against Merrimack. Which they've been doing a good job against the run, Johnny. Like we talked about how Pereira is the Warriors' Cam Newton, controls the game on both the on the passing side of things and the rush yards. 7 for 48 on the day. He's being neutralized right now by the Seawolves defense.
Unsurprisingly, Aiden Pereira has the majority of the total yards in this game. Right on cue, lowers the helmet. Needs a couple of red uniforms by Aiden Pereira. Fearless, Mike Giannetti told us, ferocious. He kind of talked about it off the broadcast open. Just told him he's a football player who happens to be playing quarterback.
And he knows his role, man. Again, the receiver in me would always be like, oh, throw the football more, be a little bit more accurate. But if it's not there, take it. You put your team in the position now after a 2nd and long to a 3rd and manageable.
Pereira, 93 out of the 114 yards today for the offense. He throws off the back foot. It's on target. A diving play made by Hayden Fisher. So the 3rd down converted for the 3rd time in the 2nd quarter. And they were 0 for 3 in the 1st quarter. And the Warriors will also receive to start half number 2.
Yeah, I like the call. Get them nice and comfortable, move the pocket, get them out of the pocket. Nice route by Fisher. Come down your stem, help your quarterback out. 1st down. That's how you draw it up.
The Warriors have sucked some of the energy out of the building as well. Tough play to be made.
And he was going back.
Seals was providing some pressure, so coming off that back foot. That is 315 pounds of freshman coming right at you.
It's a big boy. It's a lot of Costco runs right there. But he was going back to Fisher on that backside. I don't know if there was a miscommunication, but after that play, he kind of waved to him to go, like go down the field on that one. I wonder if that's something they go back to.
2nd down and 10. Keep it on the ground this time. To Marcus McElroy, who is listed as the RB2 on the depth chart. Everybody's just kind of RB, 1A, B, C, D, E, F. Aiden Kaler coming off after a 9-tackle performance last week. Stony Brook glad to get Aiden Kaler back, their leading tackler in 2023. Spent a brief year in Charlotte. With his transfer portal, you're supposed to lose your best guys, not get them back. Stony Brook, like we noted, one of the best linebacking cores in the conference. They could use him here. 3rd down and 9. Got to get to the 37. Pereira well protected this time. Now the pocket collapses. Pereira's going down. Franco Milano. He seems to come up with a big stop each and every week. Forces 4th down.
Yeah, we saw earlier Pereira kind of step up in one of those rushing lanes and get a big gain using his feet. Great job by the Seawolves defense, collapsing and being able to close that lane up to make a huge stop there and get off the field.
It'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Stony Brook doesn't spend any of their timeouts prior, so they'll have the full arsenal when we return. Franco Milano and company sent it a break. 2 minutes to go in the 1st half. Seawolves clinging to a 6-point lead.
My Country 96.1, Long Island's home for country. Playing all the hits from the superstars and the new stars. We also bring you some of the biggest country shows on Long Island at the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill and other local venues. Download the My Country 96.1 app now on your smartphone and take us wherever you go.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for it. So
please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are, and you can't do that any longer. It's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running, and I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength, and I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
Well, the Week 5 party rolls on here at Laval Stadium. Picture perfect conditions on the North Shore. Stony Brook meet Merrimack Third time in program history, first time since the 1998 season. He's Brandon London, turfside Johnny Gadamowicz. I'm Johnny Wincott. The Stony Brook Seawolves getting the football back. They will have all 3 timeouts. They will not receive to start the second half, so a chance to take a 2-score advantage. And we'll see where they set up shop. This will be the 5th punt of the first half for Mike Bryan. He has been busy. Marquise Dietz has also been busy for Stony Brook. And he makes the fair catch at the 27-yard line. So Chris Ellis and company back out to their home turf. 3rd home game already this month for Stony Brook. And as noted, only week 5, playing an FCS independent opponent. It's feeling like a must-win after a 1-3 start.
Yeah, this team, this offense is going to go as far as he can take them. Like I complimented him earlier, talking about how comfortable he's starting to look, settling down in this Seawolves offense. But now here's a 2-minute drive that you got a chance to kind of go up 2 possessions, especially with the Merrimack getting the football back in the second half. You got to go down and get some points.
First down handoff, Roland Dempster doing Roland Dempster things. It is a 5-yard bang around pickup. He's been kind of quiet in this first half. Every opposing coach says, key number 1, slow down Roland Dempster. They've done it so far. Pressure coming, Zealous trying to get rid of it. He's sent down to the turf. It does stop the clock with 92 seconds remaining. But it also brings up an awfully fast 3rd down here for Billy Kosh and company.
Yeah, I just said, hey, you got to go down and get some sort of points on this drive to put some sort of pressure on this Warriors offense. But if I'm Chris Zealous, if the play isn't there on this throw the ball away and punt it. Don't force anything.
3 receivers, top of your screen. Zealous looking that way. Here comes pressure. Stays on his feet. Zealous jitterbugging up the middle, and he gets the first down, sprawling across the 40. Just how Billy Kosh drew it up.
That's such an odd scramble right there. But again, this is what he's able to do with his feet. Find a way to get the first down, you got it. Now you got a new set of plays.
Seawolves get to the line quickly. Zealous wide open. R.J. Lamar, who had 1 catch this season, has 2 in the first half, and he was uncovered.
Yeah, he ran a nice little route, nice little deep hinge on the top of the screen, came back down his stem, but it's a good, comfortable rhythm throw. Anthony Davis II put Zealous in to just extend, hey, keep the drive going, keep these chains moving, and keep him comfortable, then you take your shot on the later down.
Zealous now 131 passing yards. Seawolves on the ground. Ragsdale gets ragdolled. Jabari Eccles, who took a first quarter penalty, more than made up for it with that tackle of Ragsdale. And a timeout here by Stony Brook, their first.
Yeah, I wonder if that was Roland Dempster going out there on the outside when he had tried to chop wood and chop him down like that, but great tackle, because Ragsdale could have got a lot more with that, especially being on the perimeter. And everyone at home, you hear me talking about the perimeter and the plays that can be made out there. It's because the defense is pursuing inside out. So whether you're Pereira or you're Zealous or Ragland or Dempster, once you hit that sideline, that's where the yardage and the big plays can be had when you're running the football. So that was a great tackle right there, because his defensive help weren't there just yet.
Chris Zealous with Ragsdale on his left hip. It is not Dempster on a 2nd down and 6 with 1:04 to play. Zealous well protected. Deep ball on the lob for Chase Freeman. And here's the flag again. It's on Eccles. It was underthrown. Freeman tried to come back for it, and Eccles got in the way.
I'll wait for the call before I get my 2 cents.
We're nearly 2 seasons into this together. You can't trust me at this point.
My goodness, like DBs, stop with the celebrations after the play if you do not get your head back. That is not being locked up. That's just being in the way. They're gonna call that every single time, and that's his second DPI, and that gives the Stony Brook offense that they're closer to the end zone now.
Trick play. Stony Brook through the air. Marquise Dietz is on target. He locates the tight end, Cole Panici. That's a throw from a wide receiver. I don't know if Brandon London could do that.
Nah, I'm not making that throw. Anytime we had a pass for a wide receiver to throw it, we would have auditions. I'd be out in the first round. I just never had an arm, but it seems like Cole Panici just comes up. He is so reliable, makes a big play whenever you need him.
Freeman going across the end zone. Zealous looking for him. It is another penalty on Jabari Eccles. We think it is. So he is having a tough time with Jace Freeman. And listen, tough to blame Jabari Eccles. Right, last 2 games, Jace Freeman has 225 yards, 4 touchdowns. But one of the DBs for this Warriors team is going to have to try and contain number 5, and now that discipline factor coming back to bite them here at the end of the second quarter. One of the most penalized teams in the country.
And it seems like they're just going to keep throwing at him. Just continue to throw him. That's 7 penalties for 52 yards. Got a little stoppage in play here.
Looks like one of the teams is going to call a timeout, we believe.
Looks like offensive lineman Christian Forbes was a little slow to get up.
You know what? I hope we're recording this. I think Brandon's right. And now they're saying the previous play is under review.
This official review of the previous play is brought to you by Stony Brook Ophthalmology.
All right, Brandon. Stony Brook Ophthalmology back into play for the 3rd time. Certainly getting their money's worth here in the first 30 minutes. And I'm not quite sure what the review is here. Call on the field was the pass interference on Eccles, his 3rd penalty of this first quarter.
I don't know on that one. I mean, it looks like their legs kind of got caught together, like in natural contact there. I'm still wondering what's under review exactly, but I don't see, maybe you see a little tug with his left hand there. Maybe that's what they're calling for him trying to stay in phase with the receiver, but it looks like their feet kind of just got trampled together.
You were the longtime wide receiver. Kind of looked like just some feet-to-feet contact there.
Yeah, the wide receiver in me is I want to catch that ball though. I know he kind of got thrown off a little bit, but he still got his hands on that. Plaxico Burris, my rookie year, he would have called that a drop. Anything that touches the hands is a drop. I remember in practice, a ball hit a guy's foot in the receiver room, and we classified that as a drop. He said, "Did it touch your body? You should have caught it."
All right, so nothing changes. First down and goal from the 2-yard line. 41 seconds showing on the first half clock. Roland Dempster, a prime candidate. 2nd leading rusher last year, is into the end zone. It's a Seawolf 6 for Roland Dempster. And Stony Brook marches down the field at the end of the second quarter to take a 2-score lead.
That was a very encouraging drive by the Seawolves offense. I talked about having the ability to go up 2 possessions before the half with Merrimack getting the football at the start of the 3rd quarter, but we saw a little bit of everything. Balls thrown down the field. We saw a solid run game, and even better, you saw 7, which means that they finished.
And the Kirby sneaks it inside the left upright, his 38th consecutive point after. Well, they don't come much easier for Roland Dempster. Following his blockers into the red painted end zone, the Dempster truck. That is a familiar parking spot for number 4.
There's only one parking pass for that. That's hung up in 4's locker.
That's a reserved for number 4.
Yep.
But as we found out earlier in the game, there might be some confusion with the amount of number 4.
There can be.
Reserved for offensive number 4. We encourage you to stick with us when these 38 seconds go by. Johnny Adamowitz will be joined by Billy Koch down on the field. We'll get some of the Dean's Challenge interviews. A few Deans here from Stony Brook stopping on by our humble abode. And we'll get you some first half stats and highlights. Although hats and stylights sound good too. 13-point cushion for Stony Brook, their largest here of the Week 5 matchup. As the long distance kicker, Mike Menino, good to go. Saw that funky maneuver from the special teams unit last time for Merrimack, not fooling around here. Very casual start them off at the 25-yard line. They have 2 timeouts in 38 seconds. Brandon, I've asked this question to you at the end of every first half. Try and get a couple of big plays and think maybe we can get into range, and if not, we take it to halftime. They will receive to start half number 2.
With 2 timeouts, absolutely, especially being down 2 possessions. Again, this is not an offense that's built to come from behind. We talked about how they're one of the top teams in the country in time of possession. Now, the thing about Aiden Pereira, I know I talk about how he kind of struggles when it comes to intermediate routes, but this kid has a cannon on his arm and can throw the football down the field. So if you can sneak a deep throw and get a DPI on one of those, that's a chunk play.
Pereira keeps on the option, and he's going backwards.
Okay, well, never mind then.
And again, the Warriors will get the ball to start half number 2. So with the play clock 7 seconds higher than the game clock, they can take us to 0-0s here in the first half. So Stony Brook will take a 20-7 lead to the break, Brandon, and that is even with settling for a couple of field goals and turning the ball over on downs inside the 30.
Yeah, not the cleanest of first halves, but you're not seeing a hangover from the loss, having to come back from Lindenwood. They've gotten off to a fast start, which is what we've seen before, but can they finish? This second half is all going to be about Roland Dempster and this run game to finish this football game.
Billy Koch always preaching 4-quarter football, complementary football. We may hear that from Billy Koch in a moment. He is turfside with our very own Johnny Adamowitz.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with Billy Koch. Billy, how big was it there to punch it in the end zone to end the half?
That was good. Good to see us at a 2-minute drive. Defense got us to stop. We got to play a lot better. I saw there's some possessions we got a score on earlier in the game. We gave a long drive on defense on 3rd and long, so we got a lot of things to clean up here at halftime and play a lot better in the second half.
You've talked a lot about playing a full 60. How would you evaluate the performance of the defense through the first 30?
Good. Just like that one touchdown drive. It's just 3rd and longs. We got to be better on 3rd and long. What's our lanes, where it's our coverage, plastering the quarterback. So we got a lot to fix here in this halftime and get a lot better in the second half.
Billy, thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks as always, second-year head coach Billy Koch, our sideline reporter Johnny Adamowitz. 20-7. Here's your score at the end of 30 minutes. Stick with us right here on FloCollege.
I knew it. You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET-CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
Halftime rolls on here at Laval Stadium. The Stony Brook Seawolves maintaining a comfortable 20-7 lead over the Merrimack Warriors. The Dean's Challenge is back here at Stony Brook. We're joined by 3 different Stony Brook faculty members, beginning with Dr. Kristen Hopkins. What school are you representing here for the Dean's Challenge?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, representing the Renaissance School of Medicine today.
And how has the Dean's Challenge, the second annual Dean's Challenge, how has that kind of affected your school moving forward?
So this is actually a fun assignment for me because athletics and academics go together in my everyday life. I'm a sports orthopedic surgeon, and so I actually get the privilege of taking care of these kids. So it's fun to draw some more attention to their hard work and what it takes to be a student athlete. And also, you know, the School of Medicine, there's a lot of opportunity to get involved with the athletics, if it's the coverage, which is a big part of my job, or also just enjoying the campus culture.
Well, we appreciate the time. We got a couple more faculty members to come on. Good luck in the Dean's Challenge for those bragging rights.
Thank you. Go Seawolves.
Well, now, welcome in Celia Marshik. What school are you representing?
I represent the graduate school at Stony Brook.
In case you didn't already know. Dean's Challenge, how has that affected SBU's graduate school?
It's a great opportunity for us to build community, which is really big for the graduate school. So to bring together faculty, staff, and students and to celebrate our men's football team, it's just amazing.
I know we're only kind of dipping our feet into that first semester. What can we look forward to here for the rest of the semester with your school?
You know, we're there to support our graduate students professionally, but also to help them with skills like time management and personal development. So we are a holistic 360 support service for our grad students.
We appreciate the time and we wish you good luck, just as we did our other contestants in the Dean's Challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie Kelton, thanks for joining us. What school are you representing today?
I represent the School of Communication and Journalism.
That is a good school.
It is a good school.
No favoritism here. Similar question, kind of how that has affected the Dean's Challenge, how that has affected your school here.
It's just a fun thing. I mean, we've got 14 student athletes in the School of Communication and Journalism, and this is an opportunity to get students and staff and faculty out of the dorm rooms, the classrooms, and their offices for a beautiful day in the sun to root for the Seawolves. So it's fantastic.
What can we have to look forward to in the upcoming semester?
We've got so much going on. I mean, our students go everywhere from CNN to ESPN. They really do. They learn incredible skills. They get to work with amazing faculty. They're Fulbright scholars. They're doing cutting-edge research, everything from AI to healthcare to climate and the environment. So we're building programs. We got a new program in writing and rhetoric, and we're growing our numbers, and it's an exciting thing to be part of.
I root for all the Dean's Challenge schools in the same regard. I don't think I'd be upset if the communication school happened to win it.
We would love that. Thanks.
Thank you for the time. Good luck in the rest of the Dean's Challenge.
Thank you so much.
More to come here at halftime at Stony Brook, a 20-7 cushion.
Black Bear Nation, let's ride. Go Tigers.
We are Hampton U.
You know.
As one.
Fly Hawks.
Tap the rock, baby.
Hey, Geek Prod.
Roll Hawks, baby.
Phoenix Rising. 3 more feet.
Go Tribe.
Go Dogs. One team, one heart.
In the classroom, in the field, on the water. Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
News 12 Long Island is here with you.
We're with you weekdays at 5 a.m.
Getting you ready to start your day. Dangerous conditions out there. Leave extra time and check back for updates.
The results of our investigation, a new privacy protection bill.
Every night at 10, we update you with the top stories.
And get you ready for the day ahead.
Here with you live from Ronkonkoma.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
From the studios at the School of Communication and Journalism, welcome to the Stony Brook Media Group Halftime Report, brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm Hallie Simmons. Professor Marcy LaBelle from the Department of Psychology has earned the 2026 Mentor Award by the Association for Psychological Science. The award recognizes members who have helped students discover their own voices and advance their career goals. The association recognized LaBelle for welcoming individuals of all backgrounds, ages, and abilities into her lab, providing life-changing guidance, inspiration, and support at Stony Brook and beyond. Her classes are filled with creativity and shows great care for academics and personal growth. Her clear passion for mentoring makes her the perfect recipient for this award. Congratulations, Marcy. This past weekend, the Long Island Emporium presented the 8th annual Long Island Maker Fair, hosted at our campus. Here's our very own Diana Garcia and Kaylin Penny with the report.
Have you ever played fetch with a robot, seen a dragon breathe fire, or hang out with a stormtrooper? Well, we did at the Maker Fair, a day dedicated to interactive STEM fun for the whole family, hosted for the very first time at Stony Brook this past weekend.
First, we checked out Adam Foster's self-proclaimed Fire for Hire and his blazing sculptures. Foster's cosmic creations blends technical engineering with his passion for art, and like magic, his pieces are activated by the push of a button. And in case you were wondering, yes, he has an embroidery business too.
And then we headed over to First, where students turn into tech leaders through various challenges, starting with the Junior Lego League that advances all the way up into an industrial-sized robotics competition. The East Harlem Warriors and the Old Westbury Cybercats gave us an inside look at all their hard work, and we were able to make a robot friend along the way.
The Suffolk County Radio Club represented amateur radio, commonly known as ham radio. More than just a hobby, radio is an important tool for public service, whether that means contacting natural disaster victims, the International Space Station, or making a friend on the other side of the world.
And lastly, we were amazed at the experimental music performance of 2 Stony Brook composition graduate students that blended repurposed instruments with computer coding and electronic synthesizing into a completely unique listening experience. Here's June and Conrad.
With all that said, I think it's safe to say that the Maker Fair was definitely able to make our day. Diana Garcia
and Kaylin Penny. Halftime report.
We are proud to announce the addition of yet another MVP. This week, we are honoring Professor Jeff Guh for his efforts in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Professor Guh recently earned the Machine Design Award from the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. This award is one of the highest accolades in the machine design field and is a testament to the hard work he has put in. Congratulations, Professor Guh. Your impact has been monumental. That's it for us in the studio. We'll send you back to Laval Stadium for first half stats and analysis right after this. Stay with us.
Radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests.
Getting you set for the start of half number 2 here at Laval Stadium. The Stony Brook Seawolves maintaining a 20-7 advantage. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. In a little bit, Johnny Gadamowicz will be joined by Mike Giannetti, the head coach of Merrimack. For now, roll the tape. First 30 minutes, a lot happened in a game that featured 27 points in those first 37 minutes. A lot of hankies as well, which was an issue heading into this game, that team discipline for Merrimack.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see a lot of laundry this game, and that pass interference sets up this Menino 49-yard field goal. But then Stony Brook started to get rolling, started to put some Des Williams touchdown there, started to put some points on the board. You see here the Merrimack tackle or sack to get Chris Zealous in the backfield, and that would spark this Merrimack offense. Downtown Keyshawn Brown with the touchdown. Stony Brook answered back with Kirby. There's so many kickers, I'm messing up the name here, but they were able to get 3 points on the board to slowly pull it away. And then, of course, Roland Dempster scores a touchdown, take a 2-possession lead going into halftime.
I will attempt to articulate what you're trying to say here.
That's a lot.
There was a rushing touchdown,
Yep.
a receiving touchdown, 2 field goals by 2 different kickers in that first half alone by Stony Brook. You look at the numbers from the first 30 minutes, and although Stony Brook is 3 for 3 in the red zone, settled for a couple of field goals and had a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and if you're Merrimack, you're kind of upset with yourself with those 7 penalties for 57 yards because a lot of those were backbreakers, a lot of those extended drives, and Stony Brook was able to capitalize, maybe not the way they want it when it comes to putting 7 on the board, but they were able to get 3, and 3 can add up at times. They do have the 75 rushing yards, but they're going to have to throw the football in the second half down 2 possessions. That 51 is going to have to go to 151.
We'll send you to one final break. When we return, hoping Johnny Gadamowicz turf side with Mike Giannetti and half number 2 here at Laval Stadium between Merrimack and Stony Brook.
Mike Giannetti. Coach, what more do you need to see offensively in this second half?
Well, I think we got
From a defensive standpoint, what's the challenge in containing Zealous, the Stony Brook quarterback?
Yeah. Better job keeping our eye.
Appreciate the time.
Second half coming up in just a few moments. First, Johnny Kadamowicz caught up with Mike Giannetti, the second-year head coach of Merrimack.
Mike Giannetti. Coach, what more do you need to see offensively in this second half?
Well, I think we got
From a defensive standpoint, what's the challenge in containing Zealous, the Stony Brook quarterback?
Yeah. Better job keeping our eye.
Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it, Johnny. A big thank you to Mike Giannetti, the second-year head coach for Merrimack. We thrust you into the action here after a kickoff return out to the 22-yard line for Merrimack. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Becca Garner, our producer, Jeff Bernstein, providing all the stats. As the Stony Brook Seawolves searching for their second win of the season. Well, they scored 20 out of the first 27 points. Billy Kosh wanted a faster start. Billy Kosh got a faster start. Off the play fake, Pereira off the back foot, could not be reeled in. Jalen McDonald, who looks like his jersey also ripped today. One of those days. Second play of the game today, Aiden Pereira had his number 2 jersey ripped. He has worn a number 13 ever since. Pereira struggled through the air in that first half, just 51 yards. He had 53 yards on the ground. And he is the team's leading passer and leading rusher, not only in this game, but this season as well. Pitch play for Wyatt. And he's able to turn the edge right by the 30-yard line. So it'll set up a third down and manageable for Merrimack here in the first drive of half number 2.
Yeah, really nice play design of getting out on the edge, being able to put some speed on tape and get into a third and manageable. Now it's about settling down because you do not want to go 3 and out on your opening drive down 2 possessions. Right now, it's about players over plays. Get the ball into my playmaker's hand and make them make magic for me.
Pereira, design keeper, stays on his feet. Pereira still trudging. It will depend on the spot of the ball. And Aiden Pereira, a dog-like effort to get the first down.
Yeah, he had about 3, 4, 5 efforts on that one. Again, we talk about the importance of tackling and wrapping guys up, but you want more guys to flow to the football to stop that momentum. He was able to carry 1 or 2 guys, spin off of 1 or 2 guys to get a well-needed first down.
Pressure coming to Pereira, down he goes. A.J. Roberts. Just the 6th sack of the season for Stony Brook, provided by their veteran LP.
And that's a great job of him coming off the edge and beating the fullback there, because they wanted to take a shot down the football field, and they had numbers. They had receivers up on the 3rd level, up on the safeties, and anytime you get space and a receiver on a safety, then bad things can happen on the defensive side of things. But great job by A.J. Roberts getting skinny, coming off the edge, and wrapping up and shoring up that sack.
Lots of space for Pereira. Taken down by A.J. Roberts. Back at the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 for Merrimack. And the first drive of their second half, which has taken off already 2.5 minutes, the 3rd quarter clock. Stony Brook going to make some late defensive substitutions. Defensive back Jojo Garcia hops back on.
If you're Merrimack, you already converted on the 3rd and short. Now you have to be disciplined here, because you're going to have to throw the football down the field. Can't have a holding penalty.
Pereira under pressure again, and down he goes. Who else? Franco Milano. The big pause of number 96. Stony Brook comes up with 2 sacks in 3 plays.
Yeah, I mean, great work in the trenches. We talk all the time about games are won in the trenches. What I like there is just the pass rush move. Was able to dip, rip, get skinny. As you see a big boy right there get skinny. But that's how you win your one-on-one on a 3rd and long. Help get your defense off the field.
Should be good starting field position for Stony Brook, their first drive of the second half. Deeds up to the 42 to collect. Already ahead by 13. Kind of talked about the factor of Merrimack receiving first in the second half, kind of changing some of the trajectory at the end of the first half. In about 3 minutes, it's neutralized by Scott Lewis's defense.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football. The defense did their job, and they get a gold star for that, because not only did they get the stop, but they give you a shorter field to work with. You're already almost halfway or on Merrimack's side of the football field. So now it's about being disciplined, get the run game going, and if you get a chance to go downfield, do it.
There's the run game, there's downfield.
And that's exactly what I meant too. Not throwing the ball downfield. Roland Dempster running the football down the field, but check out this run. You get body on body. Look at that lane, Johnny. You can run through that, Johnny.
Are you sure? Even me? Handoff on the sweep to Marquise Dietz. The coaching staff, and you credit Anthony Davis, Billy Koch. They've done a nice job of finding ways to get the ball into their playmakers' hands. Chase Freeman, who had 9 catches last week. Marquise Dietz, who had 10 catches last week. Des Williams has his first touchdown of the season. Dempster, by the way, 60 yards and 11 totes today. Zealous under pressure, off the back foot, caught again. Dietz takes a big lick to earn the first down. And just like that, the Seawolves to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, great job getting that completion there, because you saw a guy get beat up the middle. He had Jace Freeman on that same box fade that he caught earlier. They may go back to that. but great job getting positive yardage and picking up that first down.
Confusion on the Stony Brook sideline. Cole Panici was not sure if he needed to be on the field or not, so he replaces Jace Freeman. Play clock down to 8. That allows the defense to substitute. Play clock down to 4. 2. Gets the snap off just in time. Zealous plants and throws. It's complete. Dez delivers. He Houdini's the near sideline right by the first down marker.
We call that toe drag swag. Send that to Nate Burleson. I love it. Got 2 feet in bounds like he's an NFL guy, but great job catching that football and dragging the toes, getting those feet down, planting them like there's like it's an anchor from a cruise ship, Carnival cruise ship.
Ragsdale.
I.K. Ragsdale on the run.
Just trying to come up with some kind of cruise ship joke. They're up the channel for 2.
Come on, man. I got to keep you on your toes, Johnny. Got to keep you on your toes since you say ophthalmology.
How about this? The Red Sea did not part for Ragsdale. 3rd down and 1 from the 22. And potential 4th-down territory here early in the 3rd quarter.
I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Like it, love it, gotta have it. Direct snap to Roland Dempster. Stony Brook loves it. 2nd time today they've utilized the direct snap to number 4. Seawolves back into the red zone where they were 3 for 3 for scores in the first half.
And it's just so funny how he just continues to bounce off guys. He had a 17 for 88 and a touchdown against Lindenwood. Obviously he would want a bigger game when we're talking about what that game meant. But 2024 Walter Payton Award finalist, this kid's the real deal.
Floater, Williams cannot make the play. Good coverage into the corner. And although the defensive back never turned around in good enough position to make the play without a hanky, we had plenty of hankies in that first half on both teams. So 2nd down and 10 from just inside the 15 for Stony Brook. Dempster on the sweep. Roland gets the edge, takes a late hit at the 10, and there is the flag. So he avoided the big body of Jason Campo. He turned the corner and absorbed the late hit already out of bounds. So not only half the distance to the goal, the snap came for the 15. It's an automatic 1st down for Stony Brook. And if you're wondering why the player is getting off the field, we're going back under the hood. We had so much fun doing it in the first half, we figured we'd keep doing it in the second half. Actually, most of the reviews ended up being favorable for Stony Brook. The review here, and he's sort of targeting on the play. That is the 8th penalty on Merrimack. It has cost him 62 yards, and they're hoping it doesn't potentially cost them a player.
And we're talking about one of their better linebackers in Kendall Sims. I mean, he's a guy that shows up on tape in every single one of the games that they've played in. Haven't called his name much this game, but this, if he gets called or ejected for this, then that's unfortunate because that's going to hurt his team, and there was just no need for that. This is you can call the game soft, you can call it, I don't care what you call it if you're old school, but there's just no need for that in this day and age of football. You're launching on a guy with the crown of your helmet. You could try and make an argument that maybe he tried to throw his shoulder pad in there, but there was no need. He was going down, he was going out of bounds, so instead of getting a stop to making it 2nd and whatever, now you get the flag and you could potentially be ejected. It's a backbreaker for a Merrimack team that only has 30, 40 people on the team in total. Now you're talking about one of your best players on defense potentially being ejected, down 2 possessions.
Well, Eric Lewis and company giving this one a good long look, which gives us the indication that there's certainly something to think about here. no targeting on the play. Just the penalty for the personal foul. It'll give a fresh set of downs to Stony Brook, well inside the red zone, down to the goal line. Well, you'd have to think. A couple opportunities here for Roland Dempster. Not many better options, maybe in the country, than number 4.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad he wasn't kicked out because, again, what he means to this defense and this team, and I'm not trying to be a football Karen here, Johnny, but they're going to throw these flags in this day and age when it comes to football. That hurt the team here. Hopefully the defense can get a stop for them. I don't know. Siebel's offense is rolling.
Dempster still churning over the goal line. Touchdown, Stony Brook. It's the second of the day for the Dempster truck. And Stony Brook takes a commanding 26-7 cushion.
Complimentary football. Defense gets the stop, gets them a shorter field. They go down, they get the aid of a penalty, but they use the run game to go and punch it in to go up 3 possessions. 9 plays, 58 yards, 3:23 off the clock. And they're going for 2 here. I like it.
So this would make it a 21-point game. Stony Brook did not attempt an extra point last week at Lindenwood. Instead, they went 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions. Zealous to the back corner, reeled in by Williams. Destacular. 4 consecutive successful 2-point conversions for Stony Brook's offense. And it's all red right now in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they ran a little snag concept there, and he was waiting in the back of the end zone on that corner route for a long time. You can see there with his hands up. Great job, get the 2-point conversion. Stony Brook keeps rolling. 28-7 over Merrimack.
Good vibes only here at Stony Brook. Another lengthy touchdown drive gives them a 28-7 cushion before we resume the action with 8:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We go back turf side with Johnny Gadamowicz.
Hey, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, this one's shaping up to be all Seawolves. 21-point lead on a busy sports day on the whole. You get a full slate of college football. Major League Baseball season drawing to a close here on Long Island. You got the Ryder Cup. But in Stony Brook, plenty of eyes will be on UFC Fight Night 260 tonight. It's in Perth, Australia, because Stony Brook football alum Dom Reyes is going to be in action. Big piece in SBU history. Picked off a pass in the end zone in the 2011 FCS playoff, with just 54 seconds left to seal a Seawolves rivalry win over UAlbany. So all eyes will be looking forward to that tonight down under.
Well, I appreciate it as always, Johnny. And well, who is the next opponent for Stony Brook next week on the road? UAlbany.
Oh,
not Tom Reyes.
That's gonna give me a reason to stay up past my bedtime to watch. I didn't know that. I didn't know they have a guy that's fighting in UFC. And you know how those matches go, man. Them things don't end till like 3 a.m., but I'm locked in. That's awesome.
Here is Stony Brook's linebacker UFC guy. Anthony Forelli, 14 tackles last week, tied a career high. He has been one of the key cogs in that linebacking core. Stony Brook defense all over the first down handoff.
And you see they've got this Avion Smith package here. That's when Pereira comes off the field and Smith comes in. It's kind of like a wildcat package. I think he's only thrown one time throughout these 4 games. But maybe they're trying to use him now to see if he can create some sort of spark and get this Warriors offense going.
Smith keeping. And Smith giving his team the first down. So Avion Smith, a very experienced quarterback, especially to be considered your QB2. Started his collegiate career at Miami, Ohio, continued at Alabama A&M. And he has appeared in every game this season, so this is not like, you know, your quarterback gets hurt or you need some extra offense. This is according to the game script. A little wrinkle here from the offense with number 0. Smith, lassoed down behind the line. A.J. Roberts does it again, second TFL today. And it sets up a tough situation here. 2nd down and 12. 6th tackle for Roberts.
Yeah, great job by the Stony Brook defense not being fooled. I'm not buying what you're selling. Here's a guy that I believe has only attempted 2 passes on the year. I'm not going to honor the passing part of that QB draw. They stayed in their rush lanes, closed the lanes down, and were able to bottle him up, put them in the 2nd and long.
Stony Brook almost blew the play up. Smith downfield, incomplete. You just said it, Brandon. He's only completed 2 passes this year. That was his 5th incompletion. Well, I couldn't quite tell which Stony Brook lineman it was. Nearly blew that play up in the backfield. And it brings up another 3rd down and long for Merrimack. They have been behind the 8 ball early and often on 3rd downs today.
Yeah, but they're going to keep throwing the football down the field. That's how they were able to not only stay, but come back in some of the games that they've been in. Throw the football down the field. Hopefully you get a miraculous catch and a big play, or you get the defensive pass interference.
Like the little movement there.
And Johnny, at one point, if you're Merrimack, do you stop calling them flags and start calling them paper towels, because you really have to clean this up? This is hurting you. Again, they're 2-2 on the season, but they could be undefeated with the way that they were going toe-to-toe with FBS, Kennesaw State, and Kent State. 9 penalties, 67 yards. You need more.
A little prevent defense here by Stony Brook. And Smith runs right into it.
But that gives you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now you've pushed yourself back even more, and now you have to punt it. You're already down 3 possessions. You bring in another quarterback to try and create some spark. You get a decent run here and there, but then the penalty just pushes you back. There's nothing that an offensive coordinator can call at 3rd and forever.
And again, you wonder, and you hate to play this game, you could do it all the time in sports, you wonder if the result might have changed for Merrimack against Kent State. They only lost by 3. Or against Kennesaw State, only trailed by 7 at halftime, if there were fewer penalties. Marquise Dietz avoids the first would-be tackler. Wilts down to the 25-yard line. That's where Stony Brook will start when we return. Final 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. A 21-point lead for Billy Kosh's crew.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
My Country 96.1, Long Island's home for country. Playing all the hits from the superstars and the new stars. We We also bring you some of the biggest country shows on Long Island at the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill and other local venues. Download the My Country 96.1 app now on your smartphone and take us wherever you go.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are. And when you can't do that any longer, it's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running. And I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength. And I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
All smiles here at Stony Brook. Wolfie is in the house. So are the Seawolves with 28 out of the first 35 points in this Week 5 matchup. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamoit's down to the sidelines, as is Billy Kosh, who has been straight Kosh homie. Turns it from a 0-win team into an 8-win team last year and takes home the CAA Coach of the Year, the FCA Coach of the Year award. And this is not just a Stony Brook thing. He's got a track record.
Yeah, you see him at VMI, top 20 in scoring offense. Then he goes to Richmond, 31 points per game. And then he does some great things at Western Michigan. But right now, Johnny, honestly, none of that means nothing, because at 1-3, maybe soon to be 2-3, you're about to go up against a gauntlet of CAA teams to try in a bunch of must-win football games. So as we've seen, you can't buy yourself into the playoffs with straight Kosh, but Kosh Kosher hopefully can kick in for the rest of this season. This team tighten up on defense, play some disciplined football, keep getting better on offense, and then we can talk it or reassess in about 3 to 4 games.
21-point cushion. Seawolves would love to eat up some clock here at the end of the third quarter, but can't do it without getting that initial first down. 3rd down and 6, inside their own 30-yard line. It's a floater near side. Des Williams almost miraculously came down with it. It was into double coverage.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to have offsides on the defense called, and I think that's why Zealous kind of threw it up there thinking he was going to get the free play. Great job by Des Williams attacking the football with his hands. You'd want that ball put up to the sideline just a little bit more for him to high point it and not have to go over a defender. But as long as that drive didn't end on a turnover, punt it. Ooh, uh-oh.
It's blocked. It's the 3rd block kick of the season by the Warriors. 2nd punt block. They will start in the red zone.
And when we talk about a team that lost a game because of special teams, this should get you back in your coach's good graces. That's Kendall Sims right there, who almost got thrown out or kicked out for the targeting, which he didn't get. He got the 15-yard penalty on it, but that's a great job of getting skinny, getting that block right there, because now you give this Merrimack offense that struggled throughout the course of the game a short field to try and make a play into the end zone, get into the end zone, and shorten this Stony Brook lead by 2 possessions.
Looking end zone, deep ball to the pylon, incomplete. No flags on the play. You wanted Hayden Fisher to have not been able to connect today. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. By the way, Kendall Sims, who just had the punt block, he had 2 fumble recoveries last week.
So it proves my point even more that he's a guy you need on the football field. He's a guy that if, hey, you're close to that sideline, you don't need to launch on a guy. But I'm surprised that Merrimack hasn't been able to connect on any of these deep balls just yet. I know they're not that efficient throughout the course of the year, but there's always 1 or 2 they hit in a game.
Pereira tries the near side. Brown caught the ball, but did so out of bounds. Or rather, McDonald.
That's the throw that you would wanted him to throw at the beginning when I believe Cam Roberts had good coverage on the sluggo. Kind of the same thing, but McDonald is waiting on that football to drop in the bucket. They're taking the shots, but again, Johnny, they're not hitting. They're not forcing Stony Brook to play in some sort of too-high shell to make their run game a little bit easier. But you got to be able to convert or get some sort of points, I mean touchdowns out of this one as after a block punt and a short field if you want to stay in this game.
We'll have plenty of time to mull this one over. Merrimack is going to use a timeout here. 4:08 remaining in the third quarter before a 3rd and 10 for the 20. And they kind of beat me to the punch here. I was going to say, if they don't convert on the 3rd down, does this become 4-down territory? 19 minutes left in the game, down by 3 scores.
Absolutely, because I haven't seen anything from the defense in terms of creating a turnover or anything of that nature to where they can get you a possession back. So you're going to have 3 points. There's absolutely nothing for you. You're going to be down 3 possessions as it is. So if I'm Merrimack, maybe you don't go for the full 10 yards right now. You try and shorten it a little bit to make it more 4th and manageable. You tell Pereira, if you don't like it, use your legs. But you need something here. You got to come away with 7 points after a block punt in a short field.
Kalamama Mulpa reinserted into the game. He protects the quarterback. Pereira to the far pylon, missed his man. This time he had Fisher. Now it is 4th down and 10. And special teams unit staying on the bench.
I like the movie Searching for Antoine Fisher. Right now we're searching for Hayden Fisher. These two just cannot connect right now. And I'm gonna put that on the quarterback. And I'm not, jumping down on anyone's son's throat or anything, but you had to connect on that deep ball right there. It was a great call, great play call, but now the execution has to be there. Now they go for 3.
So now Carlton Ty emerges. He went 3 for 5 last week, including the game-winning 19-yard field goal as time expired. This one's from 37. Ty's kick is low. It did get through. There's a whistle and a flag.
Penalty flag, 5 left.
The play clock may have hit 0. So Eric Lewis and company getting together at the 15-yard line. We don't have to beat the dead horse here, Brandon.
No.
Penalty number 10 on Merrimack. They are 1 flag away from their 4th 11-plus flag game in 5 this year. And Carlton Ty, who did hit, will now have to do it again from 5 yards further. So it becomes a 42-yarder. His long this year is 45. He hit that one at Kent State. Movement again. There is Hanky, number 11. Well, if Mike Giannetti said winning football teams commit 6 or fewer penalties, what does it mean when you commit twice as many?
I have nothing on that one. You set me up with the alley-oop there. And, instead of dunking it, I laid it up. I tapped glass, but that was nothing.
I think he got swatted into the hardwood.
This is dangerous territory for this kid now, Johnny.
So what should have been a 37-yarder is now a 47-yarder. Ty's kick is up, end over end. Does it have the distance? It does.
There you go.
Carlton Ty delivers. And it makes it an 18-point game.
You gotta love it when the kicker has handshakes with everybody. He did the Cristiano Ronaldo swoo as well. I was like, hey. But I mean, hey, that's the kicker. Hey, that's the kicker doing his job. They needed some sort of points there. Obviously, I would have wanted some sort of touchdown there to shorten that lead to 14. But you get it down by 18. Now you're talking to your defense. We need a turnover. First guy to the ball carrier, hold him up. Second guy, strip it. And on the reverse side of it, Coach Kosh, as animated as he is right now, he is telling them we cannot have any penalties on this. We cannot turn the football over on this kick return. So right now, if you're Stony Brook, you want to be the most disciplined team to not only close this game out, but again, you're about to go through the gauntlet. And you want to put some good stuff on tape right now.
Well, Stony Brook certainly expecting an onside kick. And now they will deploy a couple of more traditional kickoff returners. They didn't have anybody situated behind the 20. This is Mike Ryan, the punter. He is the typical kickoff kicker. And it is a traditional kickoff. Jace Freeman did call for the fair catch. A very subtle right arm. And Stony Brook will get it at the 25. So, by the way, because of the penalties, which turned the 37-yarder into a 47-yarder for Carlton Ty, that is his long this year. He's been busier than some NFL kickers, 8 for 12 this year. This is only the 5th game of the season. Last week, he had 3 28-yard field goals with 3 different results: make, miss, block. And 3 minutes after the block, he hit the game-winning field goal as time expired.
And as a wide receiver, I'm looking at that like that's a short field. We need to score, because we need to score touchdowns on those drives.
Zealous floater. Lots of room in the sideline for Marquise Dietz, who loses the football. It's still loose. The initial recovery went for Merrimack. R.J. Lamar snuck in there at the last second. And the veteran wide receiver, who has 2 catches today in his 43rd career game, has his most important play of the season.
Man, Dietz owes him a hot honey sandwich at the bench after this, because that could have been detrimental right there. I can't see who poked it out, but great job by R.J. Lamar of getting on that football. And now I can almost guarantee this is going to be a run play.
Zealous met by what felt like half of the Merrimack defense on that run. Goes for a loss of 1. By the way, that was Logan Graham, who appeared to have caught that fumble by Marquise Dietz. He could not secure it. So Stony Brook keeps possession. A 2nd down and 11. Fewer than 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. And things have started to get interesting here. Stony Brook has now fumbled twice, but has not turned it over via those fumbles. Zealous uncorks one. Freeman can't hang on, but there is another flag. Zealous underthrew it for his leading receiver. And with 2 men in coverage, this will be the 12th penalty of the game on Merrimack.
I don't know, man. I don't agree with this one, and I'm a receiver. Like, what do you want him to do here? It is a vastly underthrown football. You can't just turn your head just at the stop of a dime just because like the ref wants you to turn your head right away. That wasn't even any big-time contact. That's just an underthrown foot. I don't know. I digress.
I'm sure the Ricks family may agree with you. Juice Ricks was called for the penalty. Zealous. It's an 11-yard scamper for a 1st down. Stony Brook inside the 35-yard line on the 13th play of the drive.
Merrimack they just can't recapture any sort of momentum. You get the block punt, you don't score. You get a chance, you pop out a fumble, you don't get it, and then you get the DPI right after that. They just can't stop the bleeding right now.
12 penalties today on Mike Ginetti's group. It has cost them 92 yards. After the play fake, Zealous cannot slip Logan Graham. So he couldn't hang on to the fumble, but he hangs on to Chris Zealous for his 1st sack of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, come to the comedy show that Johnny Wincott is going to be headlining. You have bars today, my man.
Was that a written? No, it wasn't. Ooh. No, it wasn't, my friend.
Off the dome, too.
Final 100 seconds, 3rd quarter. They'll say previous play was no gain. It will not be a sack for Graham. Zealous out of his hands, quickly dropped. Looking for Nolan Sluka. The SUNY Brockport transfer. Goes SUNY to SUNY. And it brings up a 3rd down and 10. That would have made it a lot more manageable here for Stony Brook. They're also kind of on the fringe of field goal range. In Michael Menino range, not quite an Enda Kirby range. Was 2 receivers on either side of the line. Zealous calling some audibles.
They might be bringing the house on this one.
Here comes the blitz. Zealous over the middle, locates his man, but short of the line to Kane. That was Justin Richard. And Zealous took a big time hit. Needed help from 2 of his offensive linemen to be peeled off the turf. And he is just a little hunched over as he heads over to the Stony Brook bench. So here is Michael Menino. This would be a 46-yarder. Menino, plenty of distance. Did he put it through? No, he didn't. He pulled it left. So Menino misses his 2nd ever collegiate field goal. Stony Brook does not emerge with points. And with 51 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, possession's going right back to Merrimack.
And if you're Billy Kosh, you're gonna have a talk with your team. Just think about how they opened up the 3rd quarter, 2nd half. Defense gets a stop, right? Offense goes down and scores. But then you get a blocked punt. And then you fumble, and luckily you get on top of that, and now you miss a field goal. You may win this game, but again, when the competition gets tougher and the margin of error shrinks, these are the things you're gonna have to clean up to make sure you can go on a run.
Final 40 seconds, 3rd quarter, and again, we kind of talked about it earlier in the game. They played some really competitive football to start the season against 2 different FBS opponents. And those were 2 of the games where they committed a lot of penalties, 11 plus. A 45-yard field goal by Ty in the opener against Kent State gave them a brief lead. The ensuing kickoff returned 100 yards for a touchdown by DeRealist Clark. Kent State would win the game. 1-on-1, down the seam, Pereira gives it a go, looking for his man, McDonald. He could not come up with it. A.K. Kamara stuck it out to the end. On an absolute bomb by Aiden Pereira. Kamara ruins the fun.
That was a great defensive play, almost T-shaped by Kamara. Talk about them wanting to go down the football field. Way to play the hands late. You see a lot of guys try and grab on because they're beat, but he played his hands. Got to come down with that one if you're Jalen McDonald. He's going to be sick with himself. But again, this is how Merrimack is going to try and get back into the football game, pushing the ball down the field.
Pereira chased by Rodney Falcon takes a big-time lick. Pereira wanted roughing the passer. It is all clean. And that will end the 3rd quarter. 28-10 score, 4th down coming up when we return. Stony Brook trying to lock down their 2nd win of the 2025 season. Get you set for the start of the fourth quarter. Stony Brook 28, Merrimack 10. We kick it down turf side with Johnny Gadamowitz.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, interesting to kind of play the comparison game and look at last year's Seawolves squad relative to this year as far as the offense is concerned. You take a peek at some of the numbers. Seawolves coming into play today right around 21 points per game. They've already blown by that with 28 and still a full quarter to play. Other thing that does bear mentioning, too, how about 23 team first downs collectively on the afternoon? So while surface level numbers kind of similar coming into play today, you'd figure today's certainly going to help out a lot of those season averages. Again, when you consider the fact we still got 4 change to go, and there's already 28 points up on the board.
Appreciate it as always, Johnny. It's a 1-3 start to Stony Brook, but as you look at those numbers, they had a great year last year. They're not that different from last year. So again, a tough schedule to start this season. This might still be a Stony Brook team that could come around and put up results like they did last year.
Yeah, I'm big on throwing those numbers out because every year you restart your journey. He's rolling right here. Every year you restart that journey from ground zero, especially when you have the portal and you've got new guys coming in. So we talk about Kosh culture. It's almost like he has to not so much reinvent, but reteach Kosh culture each year because he's got new players coming in. But I think this team they've gone through the gauntlet already to prepare themselves for CAA football. Now they're at a point where it's must win and the margin for error is short. Ooh. But you got to have that mentality of like, why not us? Why can't we go from 1-3, get hot, and be one of those teams that sneak into the playoffs?
The nature of college football just makes it very difficult, kind of backs up against the wall if you don't have a good start to the season. Remember, Stony Brook, before losing their final 2 games of last year's regular season, won 8 out of 9. They probably had to win 1 out of those 2 final games, could have found themselves into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Roland Dempster is over the 100-yard mark. 18 carries for 101. Good protection provided for Zealous, whose throw is intercepted.
That's number 9, RJ Chapman.
That is the first turnover on Stony Brook. We're going to need to take another good look, or 2 or 5 at this one, into double coverage. Freeman had his hands on it, and he just pulled it right away from him.
And you know what? I'm going to say great job because back in the day, if you were a player like Ryan Clark, you would have took that man's soul right there by launching into him. But again, you can't do that anymore in football. So if you're a DB, instead of going for the hit, go play the ball, go attack the football. And down 18, they needed a big play right there, and RJ Chapman comes up with that.
Pereira whips one to Schweitzer. Receiver trying to get help from the Hog Mollies. 7-yard pickup. 13+ minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Still a 3-possession game, but the door left slightly ajar here for the Warriors on the road, looking for their first road win of the season. Stony Brook playing already their 3rd home game of September, trying to pick up their 2nd win of the campaign.
Nice rhythm throw there. I talked about them not being able to hit on the explosive plays down the field, but there's a throw to set them up for a 2nd and short. Maybe they take a chuck or take a try down the field on this one. Never mind.
That was Mulba again. Galamama Mulba.
He's getting a lot of playing time today.
Six different Warriors that have gotten a tote today, as opposed to the 9 in last week's 16-14 win against Central Connecticut. And referee has spotted the ball about half a yard back. So it's 3rd down and a lengthy one. All right, clock resumes about 3 minutes into this fourth quarter. Stony Brook would love to see that clock continue ticking with that 3-score advantage. Mulva did not get there. And this will be a dangerous place to go for it on 4th down, but I'm not sure the Warriors have a choice.
And you've got to get this because, I mean, this is pretty much the game here. You've had a block punt with a short field. You only got 3 out of it. Now you get a huge interception by the junior safety, R.J. Chapman, to get you an extra possession. You got to convert here.
Merrimack 112th in the country on 4th down conversions, but they get it this time. Just a 20% clip in those situations through 4 weeks. Of course, it's Pereira who gets the job done, gets the chain gang moving. The 10th first down today for Merrimack. All right, Brandon, at this point in the game, tough to kind of chip your way down the field. 11 minutes to play. Could use an explosive play. Have not been many on either side today. Pereira rolling right. Pereira still going. He throws. Almost intercepted by Stony Brook.
Pereira's pass incomplete.
Incomplete pass. He's looking for Mulva, who has had a very active game here today. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's one I wanted to see him take off and get some sort of yardage. He had that lane. Great job keeping your eyes down the field, trying to make a play with your arm. But that's a hard catch for a running back while he's falling down to the ground, full speed. If I'm Aiden Pereira, you got to take this game over with your arm and with your legs, but set yourself up, make it easier on yourself.
Well, Pereira deciding legs. He absorbs another big hit. Cam Johnson there. JJ Garcia for some help as well. It's a 14-yard pickup for Pereira, who remains the team's leading passer and team's leading rusher. And with that run, he has actually run for more yards than he has thrown for today. 64 on the ground, 60 through the air.
Sounds like one of those service academy offenses right there. But at the end of the day, that's their bread and butter. That's their identity. But now, they're going to have to hit on some sort of big play down the football field.
Pereira looking for one. Off the wrong foot, McDonald sprawling for the grab at the 22. So there's the big play you're looking for.
This is incomplete, Johnny.
Now incomplete. So a race, what would have been a 20-plus yard pickup. 2nd down and 10, 5 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Jalen McDonald, who now has multiple receptions in 7 consecutive games going back to last season. Another one off the back foot. It could not be brought in. Again, trying to connect with Hayden Fisher. Those two have just not been able to get on the same page tonight.
Yeah, you see that foot. You see that foot touch that white line. But we talk about this Merrimack offense and the time of possession. You can have that time of possession be top 10 in the country when it comes to that stat, but you also want to get points on the board with that as well. That's just something that they've kind of lacked throughout the course of this season. But now it's do or die time for them.
Pereira trying to call out the blockers. Stony Brook reads him out to the far sideline. Warriors have to keep the drive moving. Even despite a difficult scenario here, 4th down and we'll call it 7. And officially after that play, both teams have possessed the ball for 23 minutes and change. The exact same amount of time of possession today.
The only difference is Stony Brook is getting in the end zone for 7. That's the most important part about that stat, Johnny.
Merrimack's lone touchdown came for Keyshawn Brown. Pereira again moving to his right, throws low, cannot be hauled in. So a turnover on downs. Stony Brook retains possession right around midfield. And with 9:27 remaining in the fourth quarter, you can start to taste it here at LaValle Stadium.
You can taste it. I'm looking at my watch right now. It is Roland Dempster time. This is what Stony Brook wants to do with this 18-point lead, 9:27 left. They're getting this ball where? At somewhere around midfield. Let's see how much clock they can kill and eat up on this drive. Up 18. Stony Brook looking like they may cruise to the win.
Stony Brook Seawolves, 9 minutes and 27 seconds from their second win of the season. And they get the football back, 28-10 to score here in the fourth quarter. He's Brandon London, I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gatamowitz down to the sidelines, Becca Carter and company touching all the right buttons in our Stony Brook studios. There's the Seawolves, like Billy Kosh asked for, looking to play a four-quarter football game.
Tick, 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 tick. Started this drive with 9:27 left. When you go and you break down this film, and we're talking about 4-minute offense, you want to not only get points on the board, but you want that clock to be down in the 5s, in the 4s, if you did what you're supposed to do as an offense. Obviously, again, you want to score, but you want to take as much time off the clock as possible here just to put this thing to bed.
Interesting formation for Stony Brook. 3 receivers on the near side. It's all eye candy. Zealous has the keeper. Zealous across the 40. Chris Zealous fooled everybody. Stony Brook gallops right back into opponent territory.
There's just so much you have to worry about when it comes to stopping the Seawolves offense. The formations, the motions, the tempos. Then you have a quarterback that can throw the ball good enough and use his legs to beat you. On top of that, he's got explosive receivers on the outside. And then, hello, a top running back in the country. The Seawolves offense is set up for success.
Stony Brook up to 369 total yards. Look at a bunch more here. Rolling to the second level. And a late flag flies in from the secondary.
Des Williams gets a gold star for jumping on that loose fumble earlier, but now I've got to take that star back for this hold. No need for it. You're up 18 points right there. I love the effort in trying to block. I don't know, it's a little ticky-tack call right there as well. but you know nothing. You want nothing. You want no flags on the ground here, especially after Roland breaks a big run like that. Now it's about, you got the win, Johnny. Now it's about being clean. You got to practice on being clean.
Well, the Seawolves seen squeaky clean, their third penalty compared to 12 today for Merrimack. Fourth time in 5 games this year, Merrimack has committed at least 11 penalties. The Red Sea parts for Chris Ellis. He is into the red zone, down to the 15. All the chatter about Eden Pereira being the dual threat quarterback. Chris Ellis has been the better one today.
I mean, look at the holes that he's running in, whether it's by play design, by scheme, or just the offensive line winning the trenches up front. I got a bad knee and some bad hamstrings. I think I might have been able to run for at least a strong 6 on that one, Johnny. But I'll be 41 in a couple weeks, so, you know, the hamstrings just ain't hamstringing no more.
And then you'll be good for a strong 4.5-yard rush. Zealous again, design keeper, meandering his way inside the 3, and he's still on his feet. Chris Zealous was not rolled down, and now they will roll him down. A very anticlimactic decision by the 2 officials at the far corner. And it'll set up the Seawolves at the goal line with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, looking to seal the deal.
Yeah, right now as an offense, we love this type of stuff because we call this imposing our will on another defense. You see Stony Brook, Merrimack defenders with their hands on their hip. You see guys not trying to give full effort in making the tackles. Again, Stony Brook offense, we're down to what, 550? I said you wanted to be in the 5s plus get the points here. They understand the assignment right now.
Stony Brook will use their first timeout. You wondered if Billy was calling timeout there to try and almost force the hand of the officials to maybe take a look at the previous sequence. But it won't happen with 5:53 remaining, so new set it down to the 2-yard line. And Stony Brook looking for the 2nd time this year to score more than 30 points at home.
Yeah, I think he called that timeout to get a point across. I mean, his hat's off right now. It's a passionate coach, but he's one of those guys that will call that timeout to make sure everyone understands the assignment. No false starts, no holds, no anything right now. Play some clean football. Again, goes back to imposing your will on that defense and punching that ball in the end zone to really put this thing away.
Already 2 touchdowns for Roland. Dempster churning, and he's turned back.
Dempster on the run.
Justice Hathaway got in there. That is a great name for a defensive player. Justice Hathaway at 285 pounds. Had a career-high 4 tackles last week against Central Connecticut. Kind of clogged up the middle there for Roland.
If we really were playing fantasy football here, they'd breathe somebody out there like, don't give the ball to Roland. I'm playing against him in my lineup. You know what I mean? The dude's going for 3 touchdowns right now.
That's probably me. Roland Dempster is in for the 3rd time today.
Great win. Great sequence by that Stony Brook offense. Again, some of you are going to be like, you just want to hear yourself talk, B. London. But I said you wanted to get the points and you wanted to take that drive that started at 9:27. They took that thing down 4 minutes and 13 seconds in terms of the clock and got points. Roland keeps on rolling. I hope you didn't play against them in your fantasy CAA lineup. Roland Dempster, 3rd touchdown of the game. Seawolves, get rolling. No pun intended.
Come on, it was intended.
It was.
Come on.
It was dad jokes, man. Dad jokes. I'm working on my dad jokes these days.
22 carries, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. Believe it or not, Dempster is not the leading rusher today. It is Chris Zealous. He has 117 yards on the ground. But Dempster's 100-yard day is 11th as a Stony Brook Seawolf. And he is now all alone, 5th place all-time in 100-yard rushing games in Stony Brook history.
You think he's going to fight UFC one day?
He's going to fight NFL.
There we go.
Linebackers.
Those are the 3 letters you love to hear. But you know what's odd, Johnny, is we were talking about straight cash, homie. We were reading off some of the stats of the air raid offense and what he's been able to do with the passing games at some of the offenses that he's taken over. You got a 100-yard rusher at quarterback right now, and then you got a 100-yard running back that is just normal these days for him to go over 100. Again, we talk about the guys, Des Williams, R.J. Lamar, Jace Freeman on the perimeter, on the outside. This offense is set up for success. They got to use this game to go on a run now. Try and get into the postseason.
Cooper Lehman spilt out across the 25-yard line. 5 minutes for the Merrimack offense to get a little work in here on Long Island. By the way, Chris Ellis, you noted 167 passing yards, 117 rushing yards. He has 284 total yards. Merrimack has 174 total yards. He has outgained the entire team by 110 yards.
And some. But we knew, I mean, we didn't, and this, let me use the choice of words. I didn't expect much in terms of points and production for this Merrimack offense. We knew they were going to run the ball, hold the ball, be up in time of possession, and try and let their defense win it. But this Stony Brook offense has really exploded today. And you hope there's things that they can, I mean, obviously there's going to be things they take away from it going into Albany next week. But now, going into October, we got some real football about to be played in the CAA, Johnny.
Avion Smith takes the circuitous route, and Smith tripped up by the 45-yard line. He lost the football after he had already made contact with the ground. So the turf monster comes up to make the stop on Smith. It's one of the longest plays from scrimmage today for the Warriors.
Yeah, we talk about how earlier they've been able to close those rush lanes. I think that was a design run right there. But the interior defensive line for Stony Brook has done a phenomenal job of kind of closing those gaps, not allowing guys to just run free inside the tackles.
Well, if some is good, more is better. Avion Smith. That's a 7-yard pickup to the 35-yard line. And he's been impressive, although used sparingly. Next week, Merrimack back at home to take on Robert Morris. 1 p.m. kickoff on ESPN+. I'm just thinking in my head, is that going to be a conference game for them? There are no conference games for Merrimack. They're an FCS independent, second here. So we talked to Mike Giannetti about that. Just an interesting mindset, right? There is no non-conference game. Hey, the important conference game, every game is of the utmost importance. And he said, well, if you want to make the playoffs, got to win the majority of your games, no matter who you're matched up against. There's Avion Smith, carries the 3rd consecutive play, gives his team a 2nd first down.
They're in that weird position, like they're that kid in the lunchroom that's sitting all by themselves, and you're like, do I go and sit with the jocks? Do I go and sit with the drama kids? And those different tables in the lunchroom are the conferences, CAAs, the Patriot Leagues. They're just over there having a little 2% low-fat milk.
It's just them and Sacred Heart.
Just hanging.
Them, Sacred Heart.
Want to play Fortnite later?
Stephen Glansberg. First down and 10 from the 30. This time Smith bridges the gap to McElroy. Did not see a lot of DeMarcus McElroy today, just his 3rd carry. Also had a catch in every game this year until today.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see much of him today, because we talked about how balanced they were with the run game and Wyatt and McElroy.
See if they get a playoff before the 2-minute timeout. They will not. Stony Brook's next game at UAlbany Saturday. They will renew the battle for the Golden Apple. We'll tell you more about that when we return. Final 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Stony Brook well on their way to win number 2 in the 2025 season.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for itself.
Please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
News 12 Long Island is here with you.
We're with you weekdays at 5 a.m.
Getting you ready to start your day. Dangerous conditions out there. Leave extra time and check back for updates.
The results of our investigation, a new privacy protection bill.
Every night at 10, we update you with the top stories.
And get you ready for the day ahead.
Here with you live from Ronkonkoma.
Stony Brook Seawolves 2 minutes away from their second victory of the season. They lead 35-10 over the Merrimack Warriors. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamowitz turf side. I'll have Billy Kosh when this one wraps up. A well-needed game for Stony Brook. Tough schedule to start the season. Kind of another one of those early season non-conference litmus tests. A game you feel like you have to have. You start 1-3. They have had it today. 2 minutes away from victory, but the Warriors getting a little more run here. A second down and 7. They've been led by Avion Smith on what might be their final drive of the game. Smith again. He's a big-time meanderer. Never seems to be one direction for Avion Smith. Has run for more than 40 yards on this drive alone. He's taken the place of the captain, Aiden Pereira, who was not able to get much going today with the arm. Still the team's leading rusher with 66 yards, but Merrimack has only thrown for 60 yards in this game. There's 90 seconds to go, and you certainly credit Stony Brook's defense.
Absolutely, because we talked about how Merrimack was going to want to hit 1 to 2 plus explosive plays in the passing game. Stony Brook gave up none. None of those deep balls down the field were completed for whatever reason. And I think that gets Stony Brook's defense ready for the CAA and some of the quarterbacks and the offenses that they get ready to face. Teams that throw the football down the field. So all around solid effort for this Seawolves defense. Have fun with the win. By the 24 hours, it's time to get back to the gauntlet.
Oh no, Brandon. A minute 15 remaining in the fourth quarter, and we're going to review in a 25-point game to get the spot of the football. While we have a moment, checking on some scores from around the coastal. Towson a 26-24 winner over Bryant. New Hampshire completes a 24-6 win. All right, we like a speedy review. Call stands.
Take that.
UNH over UAlbany 24-6. Of course, UAlbany will be Stony Brook's opponent next week. Up in the state capitol, the battle for the Golden Apple. And elsewhere in the conference today, Elon puts up 41 points against Hampton in a 41-20 victory. I don't have a score that you're probably thinking that you want.
I'm waiting for it. Come on, man.
There's only so much room on Jeff Bernstein's Post-it note. I assume you're probably interested in the William & Mary score.
Yeah, the last time I looked, it was 7-7, but it was a long time ago, so.
First, we get you 4th and 1. Avion Smith just barely gallops across the 20. Becoming a rather long drive.
You're holding that envelope like you're about to read off who won the Oscars or something.
The winner of Best Picture 2025 is Villanova 31, William & Mary 24. Game still going, as is this one for now. Final 35 seconds. And Stony Brook puts up 35 out of the game's 45 points today. And we'll see when Billy Koch talks to Johnny Adamowicz in a moment if he truly believes this was their first four-quarter football game. As most head coaches will tell you, they'll find something to pick out. Lob to the pylon, incomplete. Pass interference, it's on Cam Johnson. So, hey, why not a few more flags? 11 seconds to go.
Defense, number 16. Ball was placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic defense.
I don't know, Johnny. I'm convinced these refs don't want to go home.
I think just a beautiful day. I want to spend it here on the North Shore.
It is nice. We have all the windows open in the booth, ladies and gentlemen.
That's when you know it's a nice day.
They don't know the inside
when
joke.
Brandon London wants the windows open, the guy who played in the NFL. The timeout, Stony Brook. Billy Koch wants to stick around too. 35-10 your score. And well, you know, coaches will take every opportunity of the game to make their team better. So as much as we're joking around, there's 11 seconds to go. The ball's on the 2-yard line. So prime opportunity for Merrimack to practice some of their goal line offense. Same holds true for Stony Brook on the defensive side. And it's just a little more realistic than doing it 20,000 times in practice against your own teammates.
Yeah, I mean, these are live reps right here. You got your twos in the game. The game's already wrapped up. So right now, when we talk about how long this season is going to be and you're going to need different bodies to step up at different times, there may be something on one of these reps that a younger guy will learn and be taught by being able to do it full speed. Because if you're a 2 or you're 3, you're not going full speed in practice against the starters. When you're on that scout team, you kind of got to let up. So
Smith flushed out of the pocket, lets it fly. Diving attempt incomplete. 5 seconds. Probably time enough for one more play. Well, this is when you go to your down by 25, 5 seconds to go playbook.
What do you call it? Do you kick it? If it was soccer, you'd be going by goal differentials, then yeah, I'd take that free 3.
Matthias Latham, the tailback. There is no room to pitch it to him. That's how the ball game ends fittingly. As Stony Brook gets back into the win column, the final tackle provided by A.J. Roberts. It's 35-10.
Well, look, we talk about guys, you know, A.J. Roberts isn't a 2 or a 3 at all, but look at the way they played that option. You're going to see it again. A lot of these teams run the same type of plays on offense. But, hey, great win, 25-point win by Stony Brook. I know when we were on the phone and we were driving on our way here, I thought it'd be a lot closer because of how Merrimack has played Kennesaw State, how they played Kent State. But great job by Stony Brook not playing with their food and playing somewhat of a complete game. There's still things to clean up. You got a punt that was blocked. Teams are going to try and use that to attack you and to beat you. You had a fumble that you ended up getting that you recovered, and you had a turnover on downs earlier in the game. But things happened throughout the course of the game, and they weathered the storm. You see Coach Koch with the little victory trot right there.
He's gotten pretty accustomed to that here at Stony Brook.
Glad to do his second victory trot of the year.
Well, that means he gets a victory interview with Johnny Adamowicz. Johnny, take it away.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Here with Stony Brook head man Billy Koch. Billy, 35 points today, second highest total of the year for you guys. What impressed you the most about your group here today?
I was really impressed with our defense. I thought our defense played outstanding. You know, we had a block punt that gave them a short field, and we stopped them, and we ran the ball. We tackled well. We got stops. So I was really proud of that. And then offensively, we made some big plays in the throw game. I was really proud of our throw game. We got to keep our quarterback upright. We got to run the ball late in the game. It helped us a little bit. So great team win. We got to get a lot better. We got Albany next week, who's a really good team, and we'll play there. So we got to get better this week.
3-score day for your running back, Roland Dempster. What makes him so dynamic and tough to stop for opposing defenses?
How hard he runs. How he runs his feet on contact, his physicality. He's a great teammate. Just really proud of Roland. It's a great start for him. He's got to keep getting better.
Billy, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.
And now we have the pleasure of being joined by Anthony Farrelly as well, Seawolves linebacker. Anthony, congrats on the win. 10 total tackles for you today. What was working so well defensively?
Yeah, just huge credit to my defensive line. They kept me clean all game. They played, very fast, very physical, and that just allowed the linebackers to scrape around and make plays. So it was a great day.
Your head man, Billy Kosh, has talked about playing a full 60. Do you feel like you guys did that today?
I think we played the closest game we played to a full 60, but I always think that there's things to improve, and I think that we can still get better in the second quarter. So we can definitely get back to the drawing board and get closer to it.
Certainly a good day offensively, too, for Zealous Dempster on the ground. How much easier does that make your life as a linebacker when the guys are handling business on offense?
Yeah, there's nothing better than when your offense can possess the ball and methodically run the ball down the field, and you just get to relax on the sidelines and make corrections and focus, and you go out on the field fresh. So it's a huge advantage for sure, and huge kudos to those guys today.
Anthony, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Johnny Gatamowicz. We appreciate Anthony and Billy as well. And that is a Billy Kosh coach linebacker. Wouldn't admit to the 60-minute football game, but maybe about 56, 57 minutes.
Yeah, it was a win that you can be satisfied with, but again, if you're in the CAA and you understand what you're about to go up against for the season, you can't be satisfied with that win. It's back to the drawing board. Get ready for Albany next week. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting a W. Now they got 2-3 on the year. Off to the state's capital.
Battle for the Golden Apple next week against the Great Danes. Big thank you to Becca Garner, our producer, our entire crew, which includes Kimmy Sokolowski, Liam Hink, our camera people, all conference Tyler Stevenson Moore, Will McConvey, Kevin Catalanato, Brandon Natali, and Jake Oricchio. For my broadcast partner, Brandon London, my statistician, Jeff Bernstein, I'm Johnny Wincott. We say so long and farewell from Long Island's North Shore, a 35-10 final. Stony Brook takes it over Merrimack. They've won all 3 games in their program's history against the Warriors.